Chapter 29. He showed no mercy at all. As the daughter of the city lord, Liu Ji had never been humiliated like this before. Before Liu Ji could rage, Long Yulang sneered and said, "Miss Liu, why waste your breath on trash like this? I'll teach this trash a lesson for you after a year. Trash will always be trash. You even have to wait a year for a challenge. I really don't know what's the point of people like you living in this world." Liu Ji ridiculed without restraint. She wanted to let everyone know that the young man in front of her was trash. If that's the case, then we don't have to wait a year. Long Yulang, I challenge you now. Do you dare to accept? Challenge Long Yulang? Seeing the young man's sudden challenge, everyone was completely shocked. Their faces were filled with mockery and disdain. A trash like this dared to challenge Long Yulang? What was the difference between this and seeking death? Aoa, don't be reckless. Father, I know what I'm doing. Staring at Long Yulang, Long Ao continued to ask, I formally challenge you. Long Yulang, do you dare to accept? Ha ha ha, why wouldn't I? I'd like to see how a trash like you can challenge me today. As if they had heard the funniest thing in the world, not only Long Yulang, even the surrounding people burst into laughter. They all looked at Long Ao with mockery. I wonder if this trash's brain is damaged. He actually dares to challenge Long Yulang. Why else would he be called trash? There's a good show to watch this time. Long Ao, since you want to challenge me, then I'll say it first. Fists and legs have no eyes and swords have no mercy. When the time comes, if I accidentally kill you, I won't be responsible. Thundercloud City's Long family and Scarlet Fire Town's Long family had always belonged to the Long family. As a genius disciple of the Long family, Long Yulang naturally didn't want to hear others say that he bullied the weak, especially the Scarlet Fire Town's Long family. Long Ao was no fool. Of course, he understood the meaning of his words. He said indifferently, you and I will fight to the death. Life and death are fated. Riches and honor are up to the heavens. Life and death are fated, riches and honor are in the hands of the heavens. I'll wait for you outside. With that, Long Yulang turned around and left. Everyone came out one after another, wanting to see how the Long family's genius would kill the good-for-nothing. Long Ao, who was walking at the back, was stopped by Long Yi and Mu Lin. The two of them said in an extremely worried voice, Ao, Long Yulang is a Xiantian martial artist. With your current strength, how can you be his opponent? Father, there are some things that you must do even if you know it's impossible. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Mu Lin and Long Yi's faces were still filled with worry as they watched their son leave. However, both of them knew their son's character very well. Once he had decided on something, it would be very difficult to change his mind. Outside the Alchemy Guild, the surrounding area was completely surrounded, leaving only an empty space in the middle. In the open space, Long Yulang and Long Ao stood face to face. Long Yulang's eyes were filled with mockery and disdain. In the eyes of a Xiantian martial artist, a Hutian martial artist was nothing but a joke. 3 moves. I'll kill you in 3 moves. Everyone felt that Long Yulang's arrogance was natural. He was a super genius of the Long family who had broken through to the Xiantian realm at such a young age. On the other hand, Long Ao was a complete good-for-nothing who hadn't even been able to condense his inner strength in 10 years. In everyone's eyes, Long Ao's challenge was undoubtedly suicide. Long Ao didn't say anything. This time, he didn't challenge Long Yulang on impulse. This was because before the challenge, he had already consumed the 3 essence gathering pills that he had just refined. Long Ao's intention was very simple. He wanted to rely on a battle of life and death to break through to the Xiantian realm. Success or failure depended on this battle. If he won, he would break through to the Xiantian realm. If he lost, he would lose his life. But in the end, Long Ao still chose to challenge. After all, he had full confidence that he would be able to break through to the Xiantian realm in a year's time. But 1 year was a bit too long. More and more onlookers gathered and surrounded the Dan Guild. At this time, Liu Ji deliberately raised her voice and said, Long Ao, if you kneel down now and apologize to Brother Long, maybe Brother Long will forgive you. Otherwise, when he kills you, You won't even have the chance to regret. Longao knew that Liu Ji didn't care about him. She just wanted to scold him in front of everyone. This kind of woman was as ugly as snakes and scorpions. No matter how beautiful she was, what could she do? With a cold snort, Longao said coldly, "If I win, you can consider going to the Yihong brothel as a guest." You. Waving his hand, Long Yulang said, "Miss Liu, there's no need to argue with him. Later, I'll make him kneel in front of Miss Liu and apologize." Cut the crap. Longao took out the blood-sucking broadsword from the dragon seal space. No matter what, the other party was still a Xiantian warrior. If he didn't use his full strength, he might not even have the slightest chance. "Brother Long, what weapon do you use?" "No need." Long Yulang's face was full of arrogance and pride. In his opinion, even if he wanted to defeat the other party with his bare hands, it would be a simple matter. There was no comparison between a Hutian warrior and a Xiantian warrior. It was as if one was in the sky and the other was on the ground. First move. Long Yulang's figure moved. It seemed very slow, but in fact, it was very fast. In the blink of an eye, he had already arrived in front of Longao. His right hand formed a palm and gently slapped out. A Xiantian warrior used his own body as a medium to draw the spiritual energy of heaven and earth into his body to form spiritual energy. After the Xiantian realm was completely stabilized, he could use spiritual energy to fight against enemies. It could also be added to weapons such as swords and swords. It was because of this that Long Yulang's seemingly ordinary palm actually used spiritual energy. Of course, Longao knew this. He didn't dare to be the slightest bit careless. The blood-sucking broadsword in his hand swept out, bringing with it a cold blade light. Blade light? Long Yulang seemed a little surprised. After all, under normal circumstances, it was impossible for a Hutian warrior to use sword chi and blade light. After a short moment of surprise, Long Yulang already knew what had happened. Although he didn't know how the other party did it, Long Yulang was 100% sure that the blade light released by the other party was completely different from the sword chi and blade light released by a Xiantian warrior. It was because the other party didn't have any spiritual energy. A blade light without the support of spiritual energy had no lethality at all. Only a Xiantian warrior would dare to use his palm to block the blade light. Peng! The palm and the blade light collided, creating a burst of sparks. But a Xiantian warrior was still a Xiantian warrior. Just the support of spiritual energy alone was not something a Hutian warrior could compare to. After dispersing the blade light with a palm, Long Yulang took advantage of the victory to pursue the attack. Palm after palm struck out rapidly. It was the Long family's Xiantian martial technique, the firmament palm. Chapter 30. Longao could clearly feel how powerful Long Yulang's palm was. He brandished his blood-sucking blade in his hand. Rays of blade light shot out, but they were all scattered by Long Yulang's palm energy. The Long family's Xiantian martial skill, firmament palm, is really powerful. If I'm not mistaken, Long Yulang has practiced the firmament palm to the extreme. His palm contains hundreds of changes. Xiantian martial skill, firmament palm. As expected, Longao had already guessed that the martial skill that Long Yulang had used at that moment was an innate martial skill. However, innate martial skills were different from post-celestial martial skills. Innate martial skills were specially made for innate martial artists. When the two were combined, one's strength would increase explosively. Tianxian finger, 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers pointed out consecutively. The powerful finger force collided with Long Yulang's firmament palm. Both Tianxian finger and firmament palm were Xiantian martial skills, but Long Yulang was still a Xiantian martial artist. His Xiantian martial skills were more powerful than Longao's. There was no suspense. The heavenly profound finger that Longao used was unable to block Long Yulang's cloud-pushing palm. The spirit energy passed through his palm and instantly entered Longao's body. It was as if it could topple mountains and overturn the seas, wave after wave. Longao spat out a mouthful of blood. Then, his body was also sent flying by the palm. "Brother Long, kill him for me." Hearing Liu Ji's words, everyone from the Long family of Red Fire Town was furious. However, no one dared to go against her. After all, she was the leader of the 4 giants of Thundercloud City. Who in Thundercloud City would dare to provoke her? "You're Liu Ji?" Looking at the fat woman who suddenly appeared in front of her, Liu Ji's face was full of disgust. She asked, "So what?" Before Liu Ji could react, a slap landed on her face. Her scream was instantly drowned out by the sound of slaps. The fat woman who suddenly appeared was none other than Longao's fiancé, Wang Yuyin. Regardless of whether the other party was the daughter of the City Lord Mansion or not, she directly came up and slapped her. How ruthless. Looking at the fat girl who kept slapping, everyone was a little dumbfounded. They did not expect that there would be someone in Thundercloud City who dared to provoke the City Lord's mansion. Mu Lin was also shocked. She immediately pulled Wang Yuyin away. She knew her future daughter-in-law's temper and character too well. For AOR, she might really slap Liu Ji to death. "You bitch, just you wait. I'll get my revenge. I'll definitely get my revenge." This farce did not last long. After all, the main event was not the two of them, but Long Yulang and Long Ao. The Xiantian realm martial skill, Firmament Palm. One palm strike after another, each palm strike stronger than the previous one. Palm shadows filled the sky like a spiderweb. In just a few seconds, Long Ao was struck no less than 30 times. Spitting out blood, Long Ao did not have any strength to counterattack. The difference between a Hutian realm and a Xiantian realm martial artist was too great. Just the spiritual energy of a Xiantian realm martial artist was not something a Hutian realm martial artist could withstand. "Trash, kneel down and kowtow to me 3 times. Also, say that I was wrong and I'll spare your life. In your dreams." Enduring the pain from his body, Long Ao still waved the bloodthirsty blade in his hand and clenched his teeth. "I'll give you one last chance. Kneel or not. Go to hell." Long Ao fiercely slashed with his blade. Clenching his teeth, he finally stood firm. However, at this moment, Long Ao was already covered in blood. It was as if he had been dyed in blood. No matter how many times he was slapped, Long Ao tried to stand and did not kneel down. Looking at the stubborn young man who was covered in blood, everyone was moved. There were even some who began to feel pity for the young man and even had a trace of admiration for him. "AOR, give up." Looking at his son who was covered in blood but still refused to give up, Long Yi seemed to be on the verge of collapse. However, the two of them were fighting fairly and he could not participate. However, Long Ao still stubbornly shook his head and coldly said, "A martial artist would rather die standing than live on his knees. A martial artist would rather die standing than live on his knees." Hearing this, someone in the crowd shouted, "Good." Instantly, applause and cheers came from all around. They were cheering for this stubborn young man who would rather die than live on his knees. They were cheering for this stubborn young man who would rather die standing than live on his knees. Rather die standing than live on his knees. "Long Ao, this is your own death. You can't blame anyone else." At this moment, due to the battle with Long Yulang, Long Ao was being pressured step by step. The 3 spirit-gathering pills that he had consumed earlier were rapidly fusing with his body. With the help of Long Fu, he seemed to have broken through the critical point, which was the so-called bottleneck. On the surface of Long Ao's body, a not too strong suction force began to appear and began to absorb the surrounding spiritual energy. As the saying goes, even if you haven't eaten pork, you've seen pigs run. He's absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Someone exclaimed. Everyone's face was filled with shock as they looked at the youth in disbelief. Especially Long Yulang, his face was filled with disbelief. If the other party was absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, didn't this mean that the youth had broken through to the Xiantian realm? Breaking through in the middle of a battle? Of course, Long Yulang could not accept this fact. The surrounding crowd was already in an uproar. They were all excitedly clapping, as if praying that the youth could successfully break through to the Xiantian realm. Impossible, this is impossible. How did this trash do it? Long Yulang's face turned cold instantly. taking advantage of the other party's weakness to kill him. The fact that this kid could break through in the middle of a battle was already a testament to his talent and potential. If he left this kid alive, it would be like nurturing a tiger. In order to not cause trouble for himself in the future, he was prepared to kill him. Since you don't want to kneel, I'll fulfill your wish and let you die standing. Longao, do you have any shame? You actually want to take advantage of him? At this moment, Wang Yuyin, who had returned to the Alchemy Guild, saw that Longao wanted to take advantage of Longao's weakness. She immediately shot out and protected him behind her, completely ignoring the fact that the person in front of her was a Xiantian martial artist. Well done. Tough girl, we worship you. Mph, Longao is trash, and so are you. Don't blame me for not reminding you. We're having a fair battle now. If you force your way in, I'll have to kill you as well. Longyao's eyes were filled with endless killing intent, especially when he saw that Longao was absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Just as Yu Yin was about to say something, Longao, who had not moved all this while, suddenly patted Wang Yuyin with his right hand and said firmly, "Yu Yin, leave this person to me." Chapter 31. Longao, be careful. Yu Yin, who had always believed in her man, turned around and retreated. Looking at the bloody youth, everyone was moved. He was already beaten to such a state, but he was still persevering. Just this perseverance alone was worthy of respect. Longao, you're courting death. Longao had already made up his mind to kill him. The other party's strength and potential had already exceeded his imagination. If he were to let this person continue living, the consequences would be unimaginable. Moreover, the other party had already successfully absorbed the spiritual energy of heaven and earth from the battle just now. As long as he stabilized it a little, he would officially break through to the Xiantian realm. At this moment, Longao's eyes were cold. With the help of the 3 energy-gathering pills and Longfu's help, his cultivation had successfully broken through the boundary of the heaven and earth spiritual qi. The heaven and earth spiritual qi in his body continuously flowed into every part of his body. Die! Holding the bloodthirsty blade tightly with both hands, he gathered all the energy in his body into his hands. With a loud roar, the yellow spring 9 consecutive strikes were instantly released. One strike after another, the 9 consecutive strikes stacked together and fiercely chopped towards Longao. Shocking murderous aura, bloody blade light, and the yellow spring 9 consecutive strikes released by the bloodthirsty blade instantly skyrocketed in power. Looking at the youth who was like a god of war, everyone was stunned. Each and every one of them looked at the blood-red youth in a daze. No one knew how the youth's strength had taken a 180-degree turn in just a few seconds. Longao did not want to believe such a fact, but Longao did not give him any chance. The shocking blade light had already broken through the air, and the murderous aura spread in all directions. Anyone who felt this murderous aura was shocked and took a few steps back. There were even some who were so scared that their faces turned pale and they fell to the ground. Longao is finished. Everyone looked at the 2 sides in the battle. With such a huge reversal in strength, they all knew that Longao was completely finished this time. Such a vicious aura, I can't let you live. With a roar, a shocking aura descended from the sky. In the blink of an eye, an old man appeared in front of Longao. His face was gloomy and cold. Both of his palms moved together, and a terrifying spiritual energy directly dispersed the shocking blade light. Even so, the old man was still forced back 3 steps. This time, the old man was completely stunned. He was actually forced back by the opponent's blade light. Grandpa. Mph, a small piece of trash from the Scarlet Fire Town's Long clan actually almost killed you. From now on, you will immediately shut yourself in and reflect on your mistakes. Without my permission, you are not allowed to take half a step out of the Long clan. Yes. Longao did not dare to disobey his grandfather who had suddenly appeared in front of him because his grandfather, Long Yanchen, was one of the strongest existences in Thundercloud City. Grandpa. Wasn't Longyao's grandfather Long Yanchen? Looking at the old man who had suddenly appeared, everyone was shocked. This was because the head of the Long family, Long Yanchen, was an extremely legendary figure. Back then, the Long family in Thundercloud City was only a small 8th-level family. It was because of Long Yanquen's sudden appearance that the 8th-level Long family stepped into the ranks of the 6th-level Long family. "Who are you? Why are you stopping me from killing Long Yulang?" Looking coldly at the old man who had appeared in front of him, Longao was also somewhat surprised. This was because being able to disperse the Blood Drinker's blade light with one palm was already enough to show how strong this person was. "Mph, you don't even know who I am and you actually want to kill my grandson. You are really arrogant." Long Yanquen's body emitted a powerful aura that ruthlessly pressed down on Long Ao. Catcher. If it were not for his strong will, Long Ao would have been forced to his knees at this moment. "Senior, please be merciful." Long Yi, Mu Lin, Wang and Yu Yin directly protected Long Ao behind them. Long Yi respectfully bowed. His son did not know this person, but how could he not know? This was the head of the Long family in Thundercloud City, the legendary Long Yanquan. "Long Yi, Mu Lin, now your son wants to kill my grandson. If I let the tiger return to the mountain, won't there be endless trouble in the future?" Long Yi and Mu Lin could clearly feel the killing intent emitted by the other party. They sighed in their hearts. It seemed that their son had gotten into big trouble this time. Not only that, but even their family would be in trouble. However, the Long family of Scarlet Fire Town and Thundercloud City belong to a Long family. "On account of our Long family, as long as your son breaks one of his arms, I will spare him." Break one of his arms? Hearing Long Yanquen's words, everyone felt a little regretful and helpless. This was the dignity of the strong. After all, the Long family of Scarlet Fire Town and Thundercloud City could not be compared. Although the young man wanted to break one of his arms, he managed to keep his life. It could be considered a fortune amidst misfortune. Long Yi smiled bitterly. Even if he was unwilling to accept it, he knew that he had to agree. Otherwise, not only would his son have to break one of his arms, he might even lose his life. Just as Long Yi was about to agree, Long Ao suddenly took a step forward and arrived in front of the three of them. He looked at them coldly and said in an indifferent voice, "I'm sorry, I won't agree to cut off one of your arms. I'll say it again, I'd rather die standing than live kneeling." A shocking cold light burst out from Long Yanquen's eyes. Instead of getting angry, Long Yanquan smiled and said, "With a disciple like you, the Long family of Scarlet Fire Town originally had a chance to rise up. But now, you must die." Long Yanquan had already determined the other party's life and death. No one doubted the words of this legendary figure of the Long family. He held the blood-sucking broadsword tightly with both hands. Even if he died, he would make the other party pay the price. However, at this moment, a figure shot over from not far away. Seeing this person, everyone bowed and shouted in unison, "Lord City Lord! Lord City Lord!" The figure that shot over was Thundercloud City's City Lord, Liu Mu. He was also a legendary figure. Upon seeing Liu Mu, Liu Ji, who had just been slapped in the face, burst into tears and threw herself into Liu Mu's embrace. Liu Mu doted on his daughter a lot, but it wasn't the time to coax her in this situation. "Brother Long, why are you being so calculative with this junior? Today, on my account, let's forget about this matter. How about it? City Lord, I would like to know, why are you protecting this child?" Long Yanquan was very shocked. He was very clear about the City Lord's character. He believed that the City Lord would not meddle in matters that did not benefit him. "Brother Long, Long Ao is not only from the same Long family as you, but he is also from the Mu clan. It is not appropriate for you to kill him so rashly. Furthermore, there are more cultivators from the 100 Scatter Heaven in our Thundercloud City. It is a good thing for all of us. What do you think?" "Humph." Long Yanquan looked down on Liu Mu in his heart. "It is good for you but bad for me." However, the other party was still the City Lord of Thundercloud City. Unless he had no other choice, he would not be willing to offend Liu Mu. Chapter 32. City Lord, I'll give you face this time. Long Yanquan glanced coldly at the bloody youth, then left with Long Yulang. "Thank you, City Lord." Long Yi and Mu Lin immediately thanked him. It was all thanks to the city lord that their son was able to escape danger. Father, why did you save this trash? Hearing Liu Ji repeatedly call their son a trash, Long Yi and Mu Lin were more or less unhappy. However, due to the other party's status, they couldn't do anything. Don't be rude. You're a girl who only knows how to mess around every day. Go back. Liu Ji was usually spoiled and arrogant. However, when Liu Mu was truly angry, Liu Ji didn't dare to go against him. She snorted and was about to leave when she said fiercely, I will definitely take revenge for this. Anytime. Wang Yuan did not indulge the other party and completely disregarded the other party's identity. Very good. Go back and recuperate. I'll be waiting for you at the city lord's residence tomorrow. I hope you can arrive early. Of course, Longao wouldn't be so arrogant as to not give face to the city lord. No matter what, if this person didn't appear in time, he didn't even know whether he was alive or dead. Thank you. I'll definitely be there tomorrow. However, there's still one thing I haven't done yet. Liu Mu seemed to be very interested. He glanced at the fatty not far away and nodded. I've heard about the matter between you and the Alchemy Guild. If you don't mind, how about I be the judge for you? The Alchemy Guild is more than willing to have the city lord as the judge. Please. The fatty had a respectful look. Although the Alchemy Guild was very powerful, he was only the manager of the Alchemy Guild's branch. He couldn't be compared to the city lord of Thundercloud City. Outsiders couldn't watch the competition at all. Only a few people entered the Alchemy Guild to watch the competition. The competition was very simple. As long as Longao could successfully refine the spirit gathering pill, he would win. Liu Mu sat at the head of the table and looked at the youth with interest. At this moment, Longao had already washed himself clean. He stood proudly by the pill furnace. The table beside him was already filled with all kinds of herbs for refining the spirit gathering pill. Longao, are you confident? I'm 100% sure. 100% confidence. Seeing the confidence written all over the young man's face, Willowwood's eyes revealed a trace of admiration. However, in the eyes of the fatty, this young man was a joke, a huge joke. Longao, the bet between you and me, if you win, I will give you a spirit gathering pill and an additional Heaven Yuan Dan. If you lose, kneel outside the Dan Alliance and kowtow to admit your wrongs, am I right? That's right. Since that's the case, then let's begin. The fatty coldly snorted and fiercely glared. His face was filled with disdain and ridicule. After all, strength did not represent alchemy. In the Martial Sky continent, there were countless experts, but how many powerful alchemists were there? Ignoring the fatty's ridicule, Longao could be said to be very familiar with refining the spirit-gathering pill. He placed all the herbs around him into the pill furnace, closed the lid, and began refining. Laughing mockingly, the fatty disdainfully said, City Lord, although I'm not an alchemist, I've done a lot of research on alchemy. According to what I know, when refining pills, you have to do it step by step. You have to put in the ingredients first, and then put in the ingredients after. These are all very particular. One wrong step, and all the steps will be wrong. Furthermore, I've received news that this young man is not an alchemist. Waving his hand, Liu Mu said with a smile that was not a smile, no matter if this young man wins or loses, I hope that the Alchemy Guild will not make things too difficult for him. Consider it as giving me face. How about it? The fatty was very surprised. He could not understand what was going on with the city lord today. For this trash, he first stopped Long Yangcheng, and now he wanted the Alchemy Guild to give him face. Could it be that this young man was related to the city lord? Since the city lord has spoken, I'll let this young man go. Within the Alchemy Guild, Mu Yong, Mu Yihao, Mu Yihang, and a cold and arrogant young man from Mu Peak were all watching Longao refine pills. Mu Yihao and Mu Yihang's expressions were extremely ugly and cold. Mu Yihang said softly, Second brother, it's this young man. I hope you can help us. This young man fought with Long Yulang in the Hutian realm. Not only did he not lose, he even broke through to the Xiantian realm in the middle of the battle. Just this point alone shows that this young man's talent and potential is not something you can compare to. Hearing their second brother's words, the four of them were a little surprised. This was because they knew their second brother's character very well. Under normal circumstances, with their second brother's arrogant character, he would not put anyone in his eyes. For the Mu clan, this young man must be eliminated. You guys go back first. I have something important to do. Thank you, second brother. The four of them were instantly overjoyed. They knew what their second brother was going to do later. The four of them were completely confident in their second brother's strength. Even Long Yulang was not enough when compared to their second brother. At that instant, Longao was completely focused on concocting the spirit gathering pill because he discovered one thing. Every time he concocted a pill, it was actually a cultivation. Moreover, it was very helpful in comprehending the martial path. While refining the essence gathering pill, his soul had already connected with the dragon seal and entered the dragon seal space. If others knew that he was actually doing two things at the same time as refining the essence gathering pill, they would definitely be frightened. Within the dragon seal space. Long Fu, didn't you say that it was extremely difficult to break through because of my desolate physique? Why was it so smooth for me to break through from the Hutian realm to the Xiantian realm this time? Master, it's all because of you that you were able to break through so smoothly. Although your physique requires a large amount of energy to replenish, the pressure and comprehension in the moment of life and death allowed you to break through your limits. At the same time, it was also because of your persistence and perseverance. Master, your perseverance are the best amongst your peers. So that's how it was. It seemed that the pressure in the moment of life and death could indeed allow his cultivation to break through quickly. Since that was the case, he had to train more in the future. At the bottom of the pill furnace, there was a raging fire. The entire pill furnace was engulfed in flames. Crackling sounds came from within the pill furnace. Long Ao's face was indifferent. He seemed to be refining the essence-gathering pill very easily. However, in the eyes of others, how was this refining a essence-gathering pill? It was clearly playing. Done. Done. Before anyone could react, the lid of the pill furnace instantly exploded, and two black dots of light shot out from the pill furnace, which were directly caught by Long Ao in the palm of his hand. It was the spirit-gathering pill that was refined this time, and it was even two spirit-gathering pills. Chapter 33. Looking at the two essence-gathering pills in the young man's hand, the fatty refused to believe it and asked someone to verify the authenticity of the pills. I wonder if these two essence-gathering pills are real or fake. What about the quality? Liu Mu was also surprised. His face was full of praise, but he still asked the fatty. No matter how much he didn't want to admit it, the truth was right in front of him. The fatty smiled bitterly and said, "They are indeed essence-gathering pills, and they are of high quality." Real essence-gathering pills? And of high quality. Hearing the fatty's words, everyone was shocked. They had no idea what was going on. How could Long Ao be able to refine the soul-gathering pills in a short span of a month? And the quality of the pills was so high. Ever since the bet between Long Ao and the Alchemy Guild, many people had been asking about Long Ao's movements. Without exception, the news they received was almost the same. That was, Long Ao was not an alchemist at all. A month ago, he just bought a few alchemy books and started researching. Because of this, everyone was even more shocked. After all, alchemists were different from martial artists. To become an alchemist, 95% of the time, talent was needed. Could it be that Long Ao was an alchemy genius? Long Ao, this is a essence-gathering pill and a primary heaven pill. I have to admit that you are indeed an alchemy genius. If you are willing, I will immediately report to the headquarters and invite you to join the Alchemy Guild. What do you think? The fatty's shamelessness had reached a new level. Seeing that Ling Xian had successfully made essence-gathering pills in just 1 month, the fatty's attitude changed 180 degrees and he invited Ling Xian to join the Alchemy Guild. Everyone looked at Long Ao. They didn't know if the trash of the Long clan, but in reality, a genius, would accept the fatty's invitation. Longao glanced sideways and put away the 2 spirit-gathering pills that he had just refined, as well as the spirit-gathering pill and the heaven origin pill that he had won. He indifferently said, "How could a big temple like yours possibly accommodate a trash like me? Goodbye." Without any hesitation, Longao turned and left the alchemy guild. The fatty was left behind with a bitter smile. He stood there awkwardly, not knowing what to say. After a while, everyone left one by one. HMPH, alchemy genius. I hope you don't become an alchemy genius. After returning to the Long clan, Longao did not appear in the crowd. Instead, he immediately went to his room to rest. Although this battle was a narrow escape, it was not without gains. He had successfully broken through to the Xiantian realm. As long as he stabilized his cultivation a little, he would be able to stabilize his Xiantian realm. With regards to this sudden breakthrough, Longao had never expected it. Feeling the spiritual energy of heaven and earth filling his limbs and bones, he had an indescribable feeling of strength and carefreeness. Without thinking too much, Longao sat quietly on the ground and circulated the mysterious 9 heavenly transformations of the 9-cycle technique. The breakthrough this time allowed him to complete the 4th transformation of the mysterious 9 heavenly transformations and absorb the surrounding spiritual energy. Longao left the Long clan early and headed for the city lord's residence. Although he did not know why the city lord, Liu Mu, helped him, no matter how unhappy he was with Liu Ji, Liu Mu did help him. There were 4 giants in Thundercloud City: the city lord's residence, the Duanmu clan, the Mu clan, and the Long clan. The city lord's residence was the leader of the 4 giants. The other 3 clans did not dare to offend the city lord's residence because the city lord's residence had the backing of the heavenly star kingdom. In the pavilion in the backyard of the city lord's residence, the pavilion was elegant and quiet, surrounded by a lotus pond. A faint fragrance drifted into the nose. Taking a light sniff, one would feel much more comfortable. How do you feel? This is a good place to cultivate. Liu Mu was very gentle and refined. He gently fanned himself with a folding fan in his hand. There was a faint smile on his face as he gently took a sip of tea. Only then did he say, "The trash that everyone ridiculed actually persisted for a full 10 years. Just this persistence alone is worthy of respect." Longao only smiled and did not say anything. 10 years of persistence, 10 years of hard work. In the end, it paid off. I always thought that your martial talent was pretty good. However, I did not expect your alchemy talent to be even better. You were able to refine the spirit-gathering pill in a short month. Your alchemy talent is the strongest I have ever seen. Longao still smiled and did not say anything. He did not know what Liu Mu wanted. Longao, after your battle with Long Yulang, you successfully broke through to the Xiantian realm. Do you feel powerless against an expert like Long Yangcheng? Longao nodded and did not hide anything. He said, "That's right. What is the reason for this? Since you are already an Xiantian martial artist, there is no need for me to hide it from you. Actually, there are strong and weak Xiantian martial artists. You just broke through to the Xiantian realm and are in the 100 scattering heaven. Back then, all the spiritual energy in your body gathered in your dantian and formed a point that filled your acupoints. This is the one-line heaven. Long Yangcheng and I belong to this realm. 100 scattering heaven? One-line heaven? Longao had already guessed that there were strong and weak Xiantian martial artists. Otherwise, with his strength, why would he feel helpless against Long Yangcheng? It turned out that Long Yangcheng and Liu Mu had both reached the one-line heaven. City Lord, I want to ask, how can one break through to the one-line heaven in the 100 scattering heaven? When your cultivation breaks through to the Xiantian realm, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth enters your body and forms spiritual energy. It spreads throughout your limbs and bones. At this time, it is known as the 100 scattering heaven. When you force all the spiritual energy into your dantian and gather it in one point, then fill the 108 acupoints in your body. The more acupoints you fill, the stronger you are. Longao, this seems simple, but it is actually very difficult. 3 years. Longao knew that Liu Mu was able to break through to the one-line heaven from the 100 scattering heaven in 3 years. His talent was also quite good. He was very curious about how many acupoints Long Yangcheng and Liu Mu had filled. Although he was curious, Longao did not ask. After all, this was a personal secret. As long as the other party did not take the initiative to say it, there was no need for him to ask. Longao, your bet with the Dan Alliance this time helped you win a heavenly Yuan Dan. This kind of pill is very useful for the 100 scattering heaven martial artists. As long as you take it, it can at least shorten the time to gather spiritual energy. However, I have to remind you that this fatty is very sinister. This time, you made him lose the bet in public and refused to join the Dan Alliance. I believe that fatty will not give up just like that. Thank you for your reminder, City Lord. As long as he dares to come, I will dare to kill him. Chapter 34. If he dares to come, I dare to kill him. What an arrogant tone, but Liu Mu knew that the boy had the capital to be arrogant. Longao, my daughter has been spoiled by me since childhood, so she is young and insensible. If she has offended you, please forgive her. The other party's words had already reached this point. What else could Longao say? Smiling, Longao said, "It's okay." After chatting with Liu Mu for a while, Longao got up and left. Through Liu Mu, he finally knew that the Xiantian realm was divided into 100 scattering heaven and one-line heaven. Now, the most important thing was to force all the spiritual power in his body into his dantian and converge into one point. Not long after leaving the city lord's mansion, Longao's face became a little strange. He immediately quickened his pace, but he did not go to the family, but turned and walked to the secluded garbage dump. Next to the garbage dump. You followed me all the way, come out. Heh, I didn't expect you to be able to sense my aura. It seems that your strength is not bad. With a gloomy sneer, a black-clothed man slowly walked out from not far away. His whole body was covered from head to toe, only revealing a pair of cold eyes. What a powerful aura. Almost without guessing, Longao had already clearly sensed that the black-clothed man who suddenly appeared was not only a Xiantian martial artist, but also a one-line heaven martial artist. Who are you? The person who will kill you. Who sent you? I won't tell you. The black-clothed man exuded a powerful murderous aura, and his eyes were even colder. The strength of one-line heaven was far from what 100 scattering heaven could compare to. Longao did not continue to ask, because he knew very well that the other party followed him this time to kill him. Since that was the case, it was useless to say more nonsense. All the power in his body gathered in his hands, and he was already holding the wild draw blade tightly. A powerful fighting intent covered the sky. The black-clothed man seemed to be a little surprised, but as a one-line heaven martial artist, he did not put the other party in his eyes. You just broke through 100 scattering heaven and can have such fighting intent. It's already very good, but you must die today. The man in black didn't seem to want to waste any more time. He wanted to end the battle as soon as possible. A terrifying aura came pressing down. Then, he stabbed out with a black sword. The sword chi seemed to be very slow, but it was actually very fast. In the blink of an eye, one sword chi after another sword chi shot out. The sword chi stacked layer by layer, and its power was unstoppable. Blood drinking 8 styles, the first style, Yellow Springs 9 strikes. Blood drinking wild saber quickly shot out. The blood-red saber light fiercely collided with the sword energy. The saber light and sword energy intertwined, sending sparks flying in all directions. The blood-red blade light and the ice-cold sword chi collided with each other, and a terrifying aura spread out in all directions. However, the 100 scattering sky was still the 100 scattering sky, and it was unable to compete with the one-line sky. It was devoured by the aura, and it was forced to take 3 steps back before it could stabilize itself. But even so, Longao's strength had already far exceeded the black-clothed man's understanding. If he had not experienced it himself, he would not have believed it even if he was beaten to death. Both your talent and potential are top-notch. If you don't die, Your future will be bright. But you no longer have that chance. The black-clothed man's killing intent surged. He held a sharp black sword and used the Xiantian martial skill, Ghost Shadow Sword Art. The shadow of the sword was unfathomable. He did not dare to be the slightest bit careless. The opponent was always a one-line sky expert. If he relaxed even a little bit, he would be killed by the opponent's sword chi. It was precisely because of this that Longao also waved the snow-drinking wild saber in his hand. One blade after another, Yellow Spring's 9 strikes. 9 blood-red saber lights instantly superimposed, converging into one saber. The blood-red saber light was like a bolt from the blue, but the black-clothed man's speed was too fast. Especially with the Ghost Shadow Sword Art, the sword shadow instantly enveloped the blood-red saber light. He sidestepped and arrived in front of Longao. His eyes revealed a trace of coldness as he said indifferently, "You don't deserve this saber. Give it to me." The black-clothed man was not a fool. Of course, he knew that the saber in the opponent's hand was a treasure. Under his greed, he grasped the blade with one hand. The black-clothed man was too arrogant. In his opinion, with the opponent's strength, even if he had a treasure, he would not be able to do anything to him. Just like this, the black-clothed man's complexion suddenly changed. He almost shouted in shock, "Boy, stop for me, or I will tear you apart." Longao seemed a little surprised. He instantly understood what had happened. The blood-drinking wild saber itself was a sharp weapon that absorbed blood essence. When he first saw the blood-drinking wild saber in the thundercloud forest, the blood-drinking wild saber was absorbing the blood essence of dozens of spirit beasts at the same time. He was overjoyed. It seemed that his luck was not bad. He thought that he was going to die this time, but he did not expect the opponent's luck to be so bad. He just had to grab the blood-drinking wild saber. The more spiritual power poured into the blood-drinking wild saber, the faster it absorbed the black-clothed man's blood essence. It even reached the point of crazy absorption. Without giving the black-clothed man any chance to resist, in just a few minutes, all the blood essence in the black-clothed man's body was absorbed by the blood-drinking wild saber. Of course, Longao would not give up this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to use the soul-searching technique. No matter what, the black-clothed man was a one-line sky cultivator. Once he refined him into a soul slave, it would be of great help to him in the future. At the very least, if he met another one-line sky cultivator again, he would not be so passive. After handing the black-clothed man's soul to Long Fu, Longao instantly knew the identity of the black-clothed man. Ghost Li, a powerful cultivator, could be considered an assassin of the Dan Alliance. This time, he was invited by the fatty to assassinate him. However, he failed to achieve his goal and was instead sucked dry by his own blood-drinking wild saber, dying an unnatural death. After searching the black-clothed man's body, Longao did not find any treasures from the black-clothed man. He only found a few gold cards. He sensed the number of gold coins in the gold cards with his soul. Although he was prepared, he was still shocked. 300 million gold coins? Of course, Longao knew what 300 million gold coins represented. It had to be known that his family had spent a great deal of effort to gather 5 million gold coins with great difficulty. 300 million gold coins. Not to mention his family, even the 3 great families of Thundercloud City would not be able to gather 300 million gold coins in a short period of time. Putting the gold cards into his bosom, Longao's soul communicated with the dragon mark and entered the dragon mark space. Long Fu, how long will it take to refine a soul slave? Master, the soul you just gave me is a little too weak. It will take about a day to refine it into a soul slave. Too weak. Hearing Long Fu's words, Longao was a little surprised. After all, the black-clothed man was a one-line sky cultivator. In Long Fu's eyes, such strength was too weak. Chapter 35. To be able to refine Ghost Li's soul into a soul slave in just one day, Longao was also very curious and looking forward to seeing the strength of a soul slave. This moment of life and death made Longao understand that even if his cultivation broke through 100 disperse heaven, it was still far from enough. There were simply too many people who could threaten his life. Strength. Longao knew that he must break through from 100 disperse heaven to one-line heaven at the fastest speed and gather the spiritual power in his body into a point to enter his dantian. After simply dealing with the body of the man in black, Longao did not have the slightest hesitation and turned to go back to the family. Long family. I have already said that Aoa was invited by the city lord and is not here at all. If you have something to tell me, it's the same. When Aoa comes back, I will pass on the message for you. Long Yi looked at the cold young man in front of him and was very surprised. As a martial artist of the 10th heaven of internal strength, he could clearly sense the innate aura released by the other party. In other words, the other party was an innate martial artist. Yi Jiu Cheng's face was cold. He shook his head and said indifferently, I will wait here. Yi Jiu Cheng? Longao, who had just stepped into the Long family, suddenly saw Yi Jiu Cheng standing in the courtyard and was very surprised. He did not have a good impression of this genius on the 100 battle ranking. Aoa, you are back? Yes, father. It's all right. Leave it to me. Good. Long Yi also knew that his son was no longer the same as before. This was a matter between innate martial artists. Even he was not qualified to participate in it. This was the gap between acquired martial artists and innate martial artists. In the entire Long family courtyard, only Longao and Yi Jiu Cheng were left. Their faces were a little cold and their bodies emitted a terrifying innate aura. They collided with each other. Before the battle, their fighting spirit was already monstrous. There was a trace of surprise in his eyes. Yi Jiu Cheng said with appreciation, it is hard to imagine that in just a few months, you have reached 100 disperse heaven. But I still want to tell you that a waste will always be a waste. If I want to defeat you, it will be a matter of minutes. A waste. If a waste can defeat you, are you even worse than a waste? Longao could clearly sense the other party's true strength. He was at the peak of 100 scatter heaven and had yet to break through one-line sky realm. Because of this, Longao became more curious about the more than 100 people on the 100 battle ranking list. Yi Jiu Cheng was only ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking list. Didn't that mean that the top 95 people were all from the one-line heaven, which was above the 100 scattering heaven? You can defeat me. Hearing this, Yi Jiu Cheng laughed mockingly. His laughter was filled with disdain and contempt, as if he had heard the funniest joke in the world. Yi Jiu Cheng, I'm officially challenging you now. Do you dare to accept? Ha ha ha. Why wouldn't I dare? Let's see how a piece of trash like you can defeat me today. Longao, don't think that you're invincible just because you defeated Brother Long. I'll let you know the difference between us. 2 bronze hammers appeared in his hands. Yi Jiu Cheng sneered and said, let's fight. If you can defeat me, the 96th place on the 100 battle ranking will belong to you. But if you lose, I'll break your arms and legs. The 100 battle ranking list. There were 9 prefectures in the Tianwu continent. Each prefecture had a 100 battle ranking list. Warriors under the age of 40 could enter the 100 battle ranking list. The fastest and easiest way for other warriors to enter the 100 battle ranking list was to challenge the people on the 100 battle ranking list. Those who succeeded would immediately enter the 100 battle ranking list. The 100 battle ranking list was a list issued by the Heaven and Earth sect. Anyone who succeeded in entering the list would immediately be added to the 100 battle ranking list by the Heaven and Earth sect. That was to say, as long as Longao could kill Yi Jiu Cheng, he would automatically be promoted to the 96th place on the 100 battle ranking list. One day later, the name of the hundreds of people on the 100 battle ranking list would be changed. Yi Jiu Cheng's name would be changed to Longao's. Every young warrior dreamed of entering the 100 battle ranking list. But usually, unless the challenger succeeded in the challenge, there was only one end for the challengers, that was, to be killed mercilessly. Because of this, without full confidence and super strength, no one would challenge the hundreds of people on the 100 battle ranking list. There were 9 people on the 100 battle ranking list in the 9 prefectures. When the 9 people on the 100 battle ranking list were united, they represented the strongest warriors among the young generation in the Tianwu continent. Yi Jiyu Cheng, I will replace you and enter the 96th place on the 100 battle ranking list. Good, very good, very good. Yi Jiyu Cheng was at the peak of the 100 scatter heaven. He was only one step away from breaking through the one-line heaven. Yi Jiyu Cheng had full confidence that he could defeat or even kill his opponent. In his eyes, even if Longao could break through the 100 scatter heaven realm and defeat Long Yulang, trash was trash after all. Yi Jiyu Cheng had the right to be proud of being ranked the 96th place on the 100 battle ranking list. Neither of them continued to talk. They looked at each other coldly. The fighting intent on their bodies collided with each other. Yi Jiyu Cheng was not bragging to be ranked the 96th place on the 100 battle ranking list. Longao was also a little surprised because he could feel Yi Jiyu Cheng's comprehension of martial arts from his opponent's fighting intent. The inner courtyard of the Long family was already crowded with people. Long Yi, Mu Lin, and all the others had already heard the news and came here. As for Yu Yin, she was called back by the Wang family for some unknown reason. Everyone in the Long family had full confidence in Longao. After all, Longao was the only warrior of the primordial realm in the Long family. It was also because of the appearance of Longao that the Long family, which was originally at level 9, was promoted to level 8. In other words, the Long family in the Red Fire town was no longer a level 9 family, but an level 8 family at this moment. All this was because of the sudden rise of Longao. All of a sudden, Longao and Yi Jiyu Cheng's bodies moved. Yi Jiyu Cheng, who was ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking list, held a bronze hammer in his hand and smashed out fiercely. With the help of the primordial martial skill, the power of the bronze hammer was unstoppable. Yi Jiyu Cheng dodged and smashed the bronze hammer in his hand on the ground. The power of the bronze hammer was so powerful that 2 deep pits were formed on the ground and the ground seemed to be trembling. Seeing Yi Jiyu Cheng's strength, everyone in the Long family was shocked. The gap between the primordial realm warriors was like this. Long Yulang and Yi Jiyu Cheng were simply not on the same level. If you can resist my 18 styles of skysplitting, I'll kill myself here. Yi Jiyu Cheng had full confidence in his 18 styles of skysplitting. The 18 styles of skysplitting was the highest level of primordial martial skill. No one could resist his 18 styles of skysplitting unless he met a warrior from one-line sky. With a cold snort, Longao did not bother to pay attention to Yi Jiyu Cheng. The blood-drinking broadsword in his hand had already launched the 9 consecutive strikes of Underworld. Chapter 36. Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes versus heaven-splitting 18 stances. Yi Jiyu Cheng was ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking. He was very powerful. Every stance of the heaven-splitting 18 stances was stronger than the previous. It was like an endless wave. Yi Jiyu Cheng did not dare to be careless. He held Bloodsucker Frenzy Blade and used Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes. The mysterious heavenly finger also followed. The powerful finger force seemed to be able to penetrate everything. Boom, in the blink of an eye, the two had fought for more than 10 rounds. It was not until now that Yi Jiyu Cheng really took this trash seriously. No wonder this person could break through 100 scatter heaven and defeat Long Yulang in just a few months. It seemed that he had some foundation. Even so, Yi Jiyu Cheng still did not put Longao in his eyes. With great confidence, he continued to use heaven-splitting 18 stances. His strength increased layer by layer. Yi Jiyu Cheng held 2 hammers in his hands, and each hammer was stronger than the previous. Yi Jiyu Cheng's speed was also very fast. However, Longao's Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes was also not to be underestimated. Heaven-splitting 18 stances, the last stance, heaven-splitting earth. Mysterious heavenly 5 changes. According to Longao's current strength, he could not use the mysterious heavenly 5 changes. However, Longao knew very well that once his opponent used the last stance of heaven-splitting 18 stances, it would be difficult for him to resist. Even if he used Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes. Forcefully using the mysterious Sky 5 transformations would definitely backfire in the future. But in that situation, Longao couldn't care about anything else. Under the mysterious Sky 5 transformations, he used the mysterious Sky 5 fingers. A terrifying finger power instantly pierced through the space, and the blood-drinking wild blade also fiercely slashed out. Mysterious Heavenly 5 fingers combined with Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes. Whether it was Longao or Yi Jiu Cheng, they both used their strongest attacks. Victory or defeat depended on this move. Both of them knew very well that they could not lose this battle. The blood-colored blade and heaven-splitting earth collided. Longao seized this rare opportunity and shot out mysterious Heavenly 5 fingers at an inconspicuous angle. It hit Yi Jiu Cheng's chest accurately. With a groan, Yi Jiu Cheng's face instantly turned pale and a bloody hole appeared in his chest. If it wasn't for his powerful spirit force supporting him, Yi Jiu Cheng would have already fallen. Longao won? Longao defeated Yi Jiu Cheng? Everyone looked at Longao, who had already won. Their faces were filled with surprise. Although they did not know that Yi Jiu Cheng was a genius on the 100 battle ranking, in their eyes, Yi Jiu Cheng was a powerful warrior of the primordial realm. Yi Jiu Cheng, you've lost. You can't even beat a piece of trash. Looks like you're even worse than trash. At this moment, Yi Jiu Cheng's face was extremely ugly. He had never thought that he would be defeated by a trash. This loss of manners was not only a matter of face, but more importantly, since his opponent had defeated him, he would replace him on the 100 battle ranking and be officially ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking. Longao, I won't let this go. One day, I'll definitely defeat you. Brother Yi, why do you have to do this? You and I can join hands to kill him and destroy the whole Long family. No one will know about this. You're still a genius ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking. At this time, Long Yulang walked in from outside and said in an extremely cold voice. Long Yulang had been brooding since he lost to Longao. However, Longao had the backing of the City Lord Mansion. Even if he wanted to take revenge, it would not be easy. But the situation was different now. If the matter was exposed, he could completely blame it on Yi Jiu Cheng. At that time, he believed that even if the City Lord Mansion knew about it, they could only accept the fact. Brother Long, isn't this inappropriate? As a top genius and ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking, Yi Jiu Cheng had his own pride. A loss was a loss. If he were to join forces with Long Yulang, where would he put his face once the news spread? Brother Yi, cut the weeds and eliminate the roots. But no one will know about this. The 100 battle ranking. Long Yulang knew that Yi Jiu Cheng valued the 100 battle ranking the most. After all, losing the ranking on the 100 battle ranking was a great blow to him. As expected, when Yi Jiu Cheng heard the 3 words 100 battle ranking, his face finally changed. Resisting the bursts of pain from his chest, he finally nodded and said, "Slaughter everyone and destroy the Long family. Slaughter everyone and destroy the Long family." Hearing Long Yulang's words, the faces of all the members of the Long family suddenly changed. No one doubted Long Yulang's words. After all, Long Yulang and Yi Jiu Cheng were both warriors of the primordial realm. Once they joined hands, it would be a piece of cake for them to slaughter the whole Long family. 2 shameless things. As primordial warriors, you are really shameless. Ha ha ha, Longao, I have to admit that your talent and potential are really good. But you were born at the wrong time. If you were born in a big family, maybe you could be a hidden dragon. But now, Long Yulang's eyes were full of contempt. If he was alone, he might not be a match for Yi Jiu Cheng. But if he joined hands with Yi Jiu Cheng, he was full of confidence that they could kill Longao and slaughter the whole Long family. Yi Jiu Cheng temporarily stopped the bleeding and stood side by side with Long Yulang. The two emitted a cold murderous aura and walked toward Longao step by step. The 2 warriors of 100 disperse heaven also released their primordial aura and approached him step by step. Looking coldly at the 2 who were walking toward him step by step, Longao's face became colder and colder. He had just forcefully used the 5 mysterious heaven changes. If he continued to use it, he would definitely be backfired and the consequences would be unimaginable. Was he going to watch his family being slaughtered by these two with his own eyes? Master, your soul has been refined into a soul slave. You can summon it at any time. Just when Longao was about to fight with his life, Long Fu's voice sounded in his mind. He was immediately happy because according to Long Fu, Ghost Li was a warrior of one-line heaven. Refining his soul into a soul slave would not only not reduce his strength, but instead increase it. In other words, the soul slave's strength would be much stronger than the original body. One-line heaven soul slave, didn't it say that it would take a day to refine? But in this situation, he couldn't care about anything else. You're courting death. You can't blame others. Longao, you're still so stubborn even in the face of death. Today, I want to see how a trash like you will resist. Brother Long, do it. Long Yulong and Yi Jiu Cheng nodded. Of course, they knew that this matter couldn't be delayed for too long. Once others knew about it, they would be in trouble. But at this time, Longao's body suddenly erupted with a shocking aura, covering the sky and earth, instantly enveloping the two. One-line heaven. Feeling the powerful aura emitted from Longao's body, whether it was Long Yulong or Yi Jiu Cheng, the two's complexion changed greatly. With an expression of disbelief, they shouted in shock. The soul slave's cultivation was at one-line heaven realm. The aura it emitted was also one-line heaven's aura. As warriors of 100 disperse heaven, how could the two not be afraid of one-line heaven experts? Chapter 37. Longao was a one-line sky martial artist. Long Yulong and Yi Jiu Cheng would definitely not believe this. If that was the case, why would he burst out with the shocking aura of a one-line sky martial artist? Die. Just now, the two of them actually wanted to slaughter his own family. How could Longao leave behind any future troubles? The powerful soul slave released an astonishing aura. Like a ghost, it floated towards the two of them. Before the two could figure out what was going on, they were hit by the soul servant's palm. Their bodies flew out like a kite with a broken string. Turning around in mid-air, Long Yulong and Yi Jiu Cheng were already scared out of their wits. They quickly turned around and left, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Ran away. Longao did not seem to expect that the two would turn around and run away. They did not look like martial artists at all. He despised them in his heart and rushed out after them. Am I seeing things? Someone is actually chasing after Long Yulong. Someone is chasing Long Yulong? It was impossible for Longao to let the two go. Even in the market, he chased after the two without any scruples. The people who got the news immediately rushed over, only to see Longao chasing Long Yulong and Yi Jiu Cheng. Many people knew Yi Jiu Cheng. He was a super genius ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking. Because of this, everyone was extremely shocked. They did not know how a Longao could chase after Long Yulong and Yi Jiu Cheng. Longao, if you dare to kill me, your Long family will pay the price for you. I swear to kill you no matter where you are. Hearing Longao's determination, Long Yulong was completely dumbfounded. A few months ago, he was still looking down on Longao. But in just a few months, not only could Longao defeat him, he could even chase after him in front of everyone. Such a contrast was really hard for him to accept. Ignoring the shock of everyone around, Longao raised the blood-sucking broadsword in his hand and slashed at the two. The full blow was unstoppable. The shocking broadsword light followed the momentum and shot towards the two across the sky. The two of them, who were rushing forward with all their might, could clearly feel the startling saber light coming from behind them. The two of them were startled. They knew that in such a situation, they were in a passive position. Brother Yi, I'm sorry. In order to protect himself, Long Yulong suddenly turned around and kicked Yi Jiu Cheng. Caught off guard, Yi Jiu Cheng's body was kicked back violently and came into close contact with the shocking saber light. Without the slightest suspense, Yi Jiu Cheng was directly chopped into two at the waist by the shocking saber light. Yi Jiu Cheng was dead. Seeing Yi Jiu Cheng cut in half at the waist, everyone was completely stunned. Everyone knew Yi Jiu Cheng's identity clearly. He was a super genius ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking list and a warrior at the peak of the 100 scattering heaven. Even so, Yi Guqing was still killed by Longao with one strike. What did this mean? Everyone knew very well that after Longao killed Yi Guqing, he would appear on the 100 battle ranking list and take over Yi Guqing's position. That was to say, from now on, the 96th on the 100 battle ranking list was no longer Yi Guqing, but the newly risen Longao. After killing Yi Guqing, Longao did not intend to stop there. Just as he was about to kill Long Yulang, Long Yangcheng and Liu Mu suddenly appeared and protected Long Yulang behind them. Looking at his grandfather, who was close at hand, Long Yulang was completely relieved. Fortunately, he was not in danger. As long as he thought of Yi Guqing, who had just been cut in half at the waist by the saberlight, he felt a lingering fear. Looking at Longao, who was chasing after his grandson, Long Yancheng's face was extremely cold. In Thundercloud City, no one dared to treat the Long family like this. This was not only a provocation, but also a disregard for the Long family. Longao, how dare you chase after my grandson? You really don't know what's good for you. Brother Long, this is just a joke between the younger generation. You don't have to be so serious. For my sake, let's forget about this. Seeing that the city lord once again stood up for Longao, Long Yangcheng was extremely unhappy. However, the other party was the city lord after all. Unless it was a last resort, he was still unwilling to provoke the city lord mansion. City lord, you saw the whole thing clearly. It was Longao who had been chasing after my grandson. Do you think I'll let him go just like this? If that's really the case, where will I, Long Yangcheng, put my face? Where would the Long family's face be? With a deep sigh in his heart, Liu Mu helplessly glanced at the young man opposite him. Of all people to provoke, he had to provoke the Long family. Moreover, he was Long Yancheng's grandson. This was really troublesome. Brother Long, how about giving me some face again? Since the city lord was here today, Long Yangcheng knew that it was almost impossible for him to kill the other party. Since that was the case, why not give the other party some face? It wouldn't be too late to deal with this brat in the future. Alright, I'll give the city lord some face today. However, he can avoid death, but he can't escape punishment. As long as he breaks one of his arms, I'll let today's matter go. With regards to Long Yancheng's arrogance, the surrounding people all had a natural expression. No matter what, he was the Long family's patriarch and a powerful Xiantian realm cultivator. If it wasn't for the city lord, it wouldn't be as simple as just breaking one of his arms. Many people's eyes were filled with sympathy and pity. Such a genius with such a strong character had to break one of his arms. It would definitely affect his future in many ways. However, as long as he could keep his life, breaking one of his arms was nothing. They also heaved a sigh of relief. Breaking one of his arms was better than losing his life. Liu Mu looked at the young man before him and said helplessly, Longao, do it yourself. Break one of his arms? With a cold laugh, Longao said coldly, Long Yangcheng, has your head been kicked by a donkey? Or is there something wrong with your head? Break one of your arms. No matter who it is today, no one can stop me from killing Long Yulang. I'll kill anyone who stands in my way. No matter who it is today, no one can stop me from killing Long Yulang. I'll kill anyone who stands in my way. Long Ao's words completely shocked everyone, including Liu Mu. He didn't know what was wrong with Long Ao at this moment. Did he really think that he could go against Long Yangcheng with his strength? Ha ha ha, what an arrogant bastard. City Lord, you heard it. It's not that I don't want to give you face, but his courting death. He can't blame anyone else. Liu Mu didn't continue speaking. After all, Long Ao had already said so much. If he continued to speak, wouldn't it be obvious that he was going against the Long family? Long Yangcheng, just now your grandson said that he wanted to slaughter my Long family, so he must die. If you leave obediently, this matter might not implicate you. Otherwise, I, Long Ao, will definitely kill you. Long Ao held the blood-sucking broadsword in his hand and stood proudly between heaven and earth, like a god of war descending. Chapter 38. At this moment, no one dared to look down on the young man as he stood proudly with a broadsword in his hand. Who in Thundercloud City would dare to speak to Long Yangcheng like this? Regardless of whether he could kill Long Yangcheng or not, just his determination and courage was worthy of everyone's respect. You want to kill me? As if he had heard the funniest joke in the world, Long Yangcheng put on a fake smile and a cold murderous aura slowly appeared on his face. Longao. Waving his hand, Longao stopped Liu Mu and said, City Lord, I know you have good intentions, but today, I must kill Long Yulang. No matter who it is, no one can stop me. Liu Mu took a deep look at the young man in front of him. Of course, he knew the young man's personality. He sighed helplessly and walked to the other side. However, he didn't leave. He wanted to see what gave the young man such confidence and courage. Longao, don't think that you can show off in front of me just because you killed Yi Gucheng. Since you want to die, I will fulfill your wish. Long Yangcheng clearly had the intention to kill. Not only did the other party chase after his grandson in broad daylight, he even threatened to kill him in front of everyone. If he did not do something, how could the Long family establish itself in Thundercloud City in the future? Provoking my Long family, I will let you know the consequences. So, not only will you die, even the family behind you will be slaughtered. Longao did not like to hear the words slaughtering your family. His eyes instantly turned cold and murderous aura surged from his body. He coldly said, since that is the case, you can go to hell. Longao did not have the slightest bit of carelessness. No matter what, the opponent was still a frontline heaven expert. It was precisely because of this that Longao directly summoned his soul slave. A terrifying frontline heaven aura rose and enveloped all directions. One-line sky. Seeing an illusory figure shooting towards them and emitting a powerful one-line sky aura, Long Yangcheng and Liu Mu were both shocked. They did not dare to be careless. Long Yangcheng's hands formed palms and fiercely chopped towards the soul slave. If it was Gui Li, he would definitely not be Long Yangcheng's opponent. But now, Gui Li's soul had been refined into a soul slave and his strength had increased a lot. Thus, it would be very difficult for Long Yangcheng to kill the soul slave in a short time. In the blink of an eye, the soul slave and Long Yangcheng were already fighting. At this moment, Long Ao wielded his bloodthirst and fiercely chopped at Long Yulang. Grandfather, save me. After witnessing Yi Jiucheng being killed by the other party with a single slash, Long Yulang did not have the slightest bit of courage to resist. He had thought that with his grandfather's appearance, he would be able to keep his life. Alas, the other party had overestimated himself and dared to kill him right in front of his grandfather. Long Ao, if you dare to kill you, Long Yangcheng, to kill your whole family. Long Yangcheng was tightly entangled by the soul servants and could not free himself. In his desperation, he could only roar angrily. The surrounding people who were watching the show were all shocked. No one was willing to believe that the legendary Long Yangcheng would be forced to this extent. The expression on Liu Mu's face changed completely. He could feel the power of this illusory figure. Soul? No. Physical body? That's even more impossible. If that's the case, then what is this illusory figure? Kill my whole family. It would have been better if Long Yangcheng did not say it. Just as he finished speaking, Long Ao's speed increased. The bloodthirst in his hand slashed out with a backhand slash. The yellow spring 9 consecutive strikes. 9 saber rays overlapped and a shocking blood-red saber ray shot out. Catcher. The saber ray fell and Long Yulang's body was also cut into 2. Until the moment of his death, Long Yulang's eyes were still wide open. Ah. Long Ao, I'm going to kill you. Seeing his son being killed with his own eyes, Long Yangcheng went completely crazy. However, the soul slave was too strong. It was impossible to force the soul slave away in a short time. But at this moment, Long Ao had already joined the battle. The bloodthirst in his hand slashed out crazily. One slash after another, the blood-red saber rays overlapped. Looking at Long Yulang, who was cut into 2 on the ground, everyone was dumbfounded. Long Ao was really arrogant to kill Long Yulang in front of Long Yangcheng. At this moment, No one dared to underestimate Longao. A person who dared to kill Long Yulang in front of Long Yangcheng was enough to shock them. Everyone looked at the young man who joined the battle. Everyone's face was filled with anticipation. Could this young man really kill Long Yangcheng? Longao and the soul slave worked together and forced Long Yangcheng back. Not sure if it was because of anger, Long Yangcheng could not unleash his full strength. The more he fought, the more chaotic he became. There were a few moves where he was almost killed by the blood-red saber rays. The more he fought, the more shocked he was. Until now, Long Yangcheng still did not know what this illusory figure was. Bang! Longao was sent flying by Long Yangcheng's powerful aura. However, Longao was like a cockroach that could not be killed. He rushed forward again. Here it comes again. Seeing the young man continuously attacking Long Yangcheng, everyone seemed to be used to it. Last time, when Longao fought with Long Yulang, even when he was covered in blood, the other party was not willing to admit defeat. With a strange expression on his face, Liu Mu came out with the wind and arrived in front of the two. They exchanged palms and said in a deep voice, "Brother Longao, please stop." No matter if it was Long Yangcheng or Longao, even if they were unwilling to stop, the other party's identity and strength were there. The two of them stopped abruptly. Longao also called the soul slave back into the dragon seal space. Looking at his grandson who was cut into two on the ground, Long Yangcheng was like a volcano that was about to erupt. His face was gloomy and his body was filled with killing intent. He said, "Longao, the enmity of killing my grandson is irreconcilable. One day, I will kill you and even your entire family." After speaking, Long Yangcheng picked up the two halves of Long Yulang's body and turned around to leave. "Longao, you're a little reckless this time. You'll be in big trouble if you provoke the Long family." Not to mention Liu Mu, even the surrounding people were a little shocked. Until now, they were still unable to react. However, everyone could think of one thing. That was, Long Yangcheng and the Long family behind him would definitely not let this matter go. Provoking Long Yangcheng was like provoking the Grim Reaper. Just thinking about it, one could imagine what the outcome would be. However, Longao did not care about all of this. Since he dared to kill Long Yulang, he was not afraid of Long Yangcheng and the rank 6 Long family. With the soul slave as his backing, if Long Yangcheng dared to come, he would dare to kill him. "City Lord, I have some urgent matters to attend to, so I'll take my leave first." Previously, when he forcefully used the 5 mysterious heavenly transformation, he suffered a backlash from the spiritual energy in his body. If he delayed for too long, the consequences would be unimaginable. It might even affect his future cultivation speed. Because of this, Longao bid farewell to Liu Mu and quickly left. Chapter 39. After returning to the family, Longao did not talk to anyone and went straight to his room to cultivate. After an entire night, Longao finally managed to suppress this backlash with great difficulty. The news that Longao fought with Long Yangcheng and killed Long Yulang had already spread throughout Thundercloud City. Those who heard the news were all shocked and did not want to believe it. Everyone knew what Long Yangcheng and the Long family represented. As one of the 4 magnates in Thundercloud City, no one dared to provoke the Long family in Thundercloud City. But what about Longao? It was as if he had disregarded the Long family and killed their grandson right under Long Yangcheng's nose. Longao's consequences could be foreseen. It was precisely because of this that everyone wanted to see how Long Yangcheng and the Long family were going to take revenge. The next morning, as soon as Longao left his room, he was called to the hall by his parents. Not only Long Yi and Mu Lin were there, but almost all the other members of the Long family were there. "Aoa, are you okay?" At this moment, everyone in the Long family was excited and surprised. After all, they already knew that Longao killed Yi Guqing and Long Yulang and fought against Long Yangcheng. In this way, didn't it mean that the Long family could slowly rise with the help of Longao? "Seventh brother, you are really amazing. Take a look at the 100 battle ranking list." Long Qianqian's face was full of pride. She handed a delicate booklet to Longao and said with a smile, "Seventh brother, I spent 1,000 gold coins on this 100 battle ranking list. 1,000 gold coins to buy a booklet. With a helpless smile, Longao opened the booklet. On the first page, there were 3 words, 100 battle ranking list. From the second page, there were 10 names on each page. There were a total of 100 names on 10 pages, which were the 100 people on the 100 battle ranking list. Turning to the 10th page of the 100 battle ranking list, Longao could no longer see Yi Guqing's name. Instead, he saw his own name, Longao's name, and there seemed to be a line of small words under his name. The young man from the Long family of the Red Fire town persisted for 10 years and never gave up. In the end, he turned the tables and killed Yi Guqing. He is ranked 96th on the 100 battle ranking list. Looking at the 100 battle ranking list's introduction of him, Longao was somewhat speechless, especially the phrase trash counterattack. The 100 battle ranking is the most important ranking in the Tianwu continent. There are 900 battle rankings in the 9 prefectures. Those who enter the 100 battle ranking are all amazing people. Longao certainly knew the 100 battle ranking list very well. In the 9 prefectures of the Tianwu continent, any warrior under the age of 40 could compete for the 100 battle ranking. There were countless geniuses in each prefecture, but only 100 people could make it to the 100 battle ranking. It could be imagined how valuable the 100 battle ranking was. However, Longao was not surprised at all, because he knew that the super figures on the 100 battle ranking list were not simple people. Yi Guqing was only ranked 96th, but his cultivation had reached the peak of the 100 scatter heaven. How powerful was the top 95th on the 100 battle ranking list? At this moment, a servant came in quickly. He knelt on the ground and said eagerly, "Master, there is an urgent report from the family from 100 miles away." An urgent report from 100 miles away? Long Yi was very surprised. He took the letter from the servant's hand and opened it. His face instantly turned cold and he said angrily, "What a shameless young family. Big brother, what's wrong?" "Humph, I don't know what means the young family used to invite Taoist Black Wind of the Black Wind Mountain. According to father's letter, Taoist Black Wind will arrive in Thundercloud City in 10 days. At that time, the Long family will be exterminated." Taoist Black Wind of the Black Wind Mountain? Everyone knew who Taoist Black Wind of the Black Wind Mountain was. It was said that Taoist Black Wind had a little relationship with the Yang family, but the Red Fire town had always been balanced. This time, the Yang family invited Taoist Black Wind, obviously to destroy the Long family. "Big brother, although our family has been promoted to an 8th grade family, our foundation has not improved at all. If the Yang family and Taoist Black Wind come, we can only be beaten." Long Jian and the others knew very well that the family could be promoted this time, not because of the improvement of the family's strength, but because of Longao's sudden rise. In other words, without Longao, the family would still be the same as before. At this moment, they did not dare to ask Longao to do anything. After all, Longao was not the same as before. Not only did he become a primordial warrior, but he also fought against Long Yangcheng and killed Yi Guqing and Long Yulang. As uncles, they seemed to be a little reserved when they saw their nephew. How could Long Yi not know about the encouragement in the hearts of his brothers? He sighed deeply. He did not blame anyone. After all, a primordial warrior was an existence above everything. Even he, as a father, was different when facing his son. Before Long Yi could speak, Longao had already said, "Father, the family's business is my business. I will go now. All of us will be there in a while." Long Yi knew that the Long family's headquarters was in the Red Fire town, and the foundation in Thundercloud City was dispensable. If they lost the big picture because of a small matter, it would be too late for regrets. Longao didn't hesitate in the slightest. He immediately set off for the Scarlet Fire town's clan. This was because he clearly knew in his heart that a Xiantian warrior was an irresistible existence for the current clan. In the hall. "Big brother, isn't Aoa's sudden rise a little too fast? After killing Long Yulang this time, Long Yangcheng and the Long family will definitely not let it go. We should think of a countermeasure as soon as possible." "Yes, The foundation of the 6th-level Long family cannot be ignored. But with Ao's current strength, I believe that Long Yangcheng will not dare to act recklessly. I have confidence in Ao. In the future, our Long family will definitely surpass the 6th level. When everyone thought that Long Ao dared to kill Long Yulang under Long Yancheng's nose, they felt a deep sense of disbelief. Thundercloud City, the 6th-level Long family, in a very luxurious room. Father, I want to take revenge now. I can't let Yulang die in vain. Long Yulang's father, Long Hemming, had a gloomy face and his body was trembling with anger. Hemming, don't be impatient. We will definitely take revenge for Yulang, but now is not the time. Why is that? Long Hemming really could not understand why his father would be so afraid of a 9th-level Long family. Even if the other party had a primordial warrior, so what? Hemming, I don't know how that bastard Long Ao did it. The illusory figure actually has the strength of a one-line sky, and is not inferior to me. So we have to take the long view. Hearing this, Long Hemming seemed a little surprised because he was very clear about his father's strength. It seemed that the other party really had some skills. The father and son looked at each other, their faces full of viciousness. Chapter 40. Chihua Town. His son Yang Chen was killed. Yang Guantian was furious to the extreme. He even prepared to invite the Black Wind Taoist to destroy the entire Long family. Grandpa, Senior Black Wind is here. Good, good. Yang Guantian didn't dare to neglect at all. He brought the Yang family out to greet him personally. Outside the Yang family, a skinny man, about 1.5 meters tall, with a cold face and an evil smile, looked at the people of the Yang family who had already filed out and said, Guantian, it has been so many years since we last met. How have you been? Senior Black Wind, I'm really sorry to trouble you this time. Waving his hand, Taoist Black Wind said straightforwardly, I already know everything about this matter. It's just a small 9th-level Long family. Taoist Black Wind's arrogance seemed to be a matter of course in the eyes of the Yang family. However, Yang Guantian said with a dignified face, Senior Black Wind, you don't know what kind of luck the Long family has. They actually have a Xiantian martial artist. If not, I wouldn't have invited you here personally. The Yang family was a bit shocked by Long Ao's sudden advancement. Why was the Long family so lucky to have such a genius? It was precisely because of this that Yang Guantian was prepared to strike first. Otherwise, once Long Ao had time to grow, the Yang family would be unlucky. Xiantian martial artist. Taoist Black Wind's face was full of contempt because in his eyes, a kid who had just advanced to 100 scattering heaven was nothing to worry about. 100 scattering heaven and one-line heaven couldn't be compared at all. Let's go to the Long family now. Senior Black Wind, now? Don't you need to rest? Yang Guantian seemed a little surprised. He didn't know why Taoist Black Wind was more anxious than him. No need. Let's deal with the Long family as soon as possible. I have other things to tell you. Yang Guantian didn't know why, but he had a bad feeling when he heard Taoist Black Wind's words. However, things had already come to this point, so he could only accept it. Just like that, the Yang family brought the Black Wind Taoist and headed towards the Long family. Everyone who received the news rushed over, wanting to watch the show. Yu Yin also wanted to go to the Long family, but she was detained by the Wang family. The Wang family were not fools. Of course, they knew why the Yang family invited the Black Wind Taoist. If the Black Wind Taoist was involved, the Wang family would suffer a great loss. Within the Long family courtyard, looking at the majestic group of people from the Yang clan and the midget man standing at the front, no one dared to underestimate them. The Black Wind Taoist was a famous Xiantian martial artist. He was also a vicious and merciless person. Back then, because of a word of disrespect from a certain clan, he directly wiped them out. You are Long Haosha? Exactly. Even if the other party was a carnate stage martial artist, Long Haosha's face was neither servile nor overbearing as he said indifferently, if I'm not wrong, you should be the famous Black Wind Taoist, right? Ha ha ha, so this old man is so famous. Not bad, not bad. In an instant, The Black Wind Taoist's voice turned cold as he said, Longao, a debt must be paid with money, a life must be paid with a life. But seeing that you are also a figure, I'll give the Long family a chance. As long as you hand over Longao, this matter will be written off. Senior Black Wind. Without giving young Guantian any chance to speak, the Black Wind Taoist said, if you don't want to, I can leave immediately. I'll leave this matter to you. Impossible, Black Wind Taoist, I advise you to give up. Even if the Long family is destroyed today, we will not hand over Longao. If you want to kill us, then kill us. No need to talk nonsense. Determination was written all over the faces of the Long family members because they all knew that Longao was the hope of the Long family. As long as Longao didn't die, the rise of the Long family in the future was only a matter of time. For the Long family, so what if they died? Looking at the Long family's fearless expression, no matter if it was the young family or the people who were watching the show, they were all moved. This was the power of a family. Ha ha ha, Longao, Long family. Since this is the case, you can all go to hell. Suddenly, the Black Wind Taoist's body emitted an amazing aura. The aura of 100 scattering heaven peak martial artist was enough to crush anyone below the 6th celestial layer. It was unknown if the Black Wind Taoist did it on purpose, but he did not attack the others. The powerful aura instantly enveloped Longao, and the terrifying pressure was overwhelming. Catcher, Longao was only at the 10th celestial layer. How could he resist the aura of 100 scattering heaven peak martial artist? However, Longao did not kneel down. He clenched his teeth and stood proudly. Everyone could hear the sound coming from Longao's body because of the pressure. Grandfather. Father. Everyone in the Long family was completely anxious. Their eyes were filled with anger, and no one retreated. They all rushed out, but everyone left quickly, and returned even faster. The powerful aura directly suppressed everyone. Everyone in the Long family struggled to resist, but the difference in strength meant that the Long family would not be able to hold on for long. Catcher, some of the Long family disciples could not resist the pressure and directly fell to the ground, bleeding from their 7 orifices. The stronger ones were also suppressed by the aura and knelt on the ground, but their faces were still filled with determination. A warrior can be killed, but not humiliated. We would rather die than kneel. Longao's voice spread throughout the Long family. The disciples who were suppressed by the aura and knelt down one by one said, Long family disciples, a warrior can be killed, but not humiliated. Then they all bit their tongues and committed suicide. Looking at Longao and the Long family disciples who bit their tongues and committed suicide, the young family people sneered. The rest of the people were completely moved. The Long family, whether they survived or not, would be respected by everyone. A warrior can be killed, but not humiliated. Longao, I want to see how you won't kneel. Just as he spoke, the Black Wind Taoist released an even more powerful aura. Longao gradually felt that he could not hold on any longer, and could kneel at any moment. However, Longao's powerful will continued to persist. He had already decided that if he could not hold on any longer and was about to kneel, he would bite his tongue and commit suicide. Even if he died, he could not disgrace the Long family. I'll make everyone in the Long family die with you, including that little bastard. Young Guantian looked at Longao, who was about to collapse, and wanted to laugh heartily. He could finally take revenge for his son. But at that moment, a figure shot over from not too far away. Before that person arrived, his terrifying aura and monstrous fury already arrived. Sensing that killing intent and fury, everyone's faces paled, not knowing just who had arrived. Anyone who dares to touch the Long family will die. Chapter 41. Anyone who dared to touch the Long family would die. Longao, who had arrived just in time, saw his grandfather who could not hold on any longer and a few corpses. His anger turned into boundless killing intent that covered the sky. Feeling this terrifying aura, the faces of the young family members changed. So Longao had really become a Xiantian martial artist. The The Scarlet Fire Town did not know that Longao had killed Yi Guqing and Long Yulang and fought against Long Yangcheng. Otherwise, why would the Yang family want to take revenge? Would the Black Wind Taoist dare to come? You're Longao? Longao did not have anything good to say to this black-clothed man who bullied his grandfather and went against the Long family. He said coldly, "Who are you, dwarf?" Dwarf? Hearing Longao call the Black Wind Taoist a dwarf, everyone's face was a bit strange. Everyone in the Long family, including Long Haosha, was overjoyed when they saw Longao descend from the sky. Long Ying shouted excitedly, "Seventh brother, kill this dwarf for us." "Big brother, grandfather, don't worry. I'll definitely kill this dwarf." "Ha ha ha, little brat, you dare to speak such arrogant words." As if he had heard the funniest thing in the world, the Black Wind Taoist laughed without restraint. Even the Yang family members were in an uproar. "Longao, you killed my son. Today, I'll make you pay back double." "Yang Guantian, I originally did not plan to go to your Yang family, but since you don't know what's good for you, I'll go personally later. I hope you'll still be as unyielding as you are now." Not putting the Yang family in his eyes at all, Longao coldly looked at the dwarf in front of him and said firmly, "Anyone who dares to harm my Long family will definitely die. With just you." Not wanting to waste any more words, the blood-sucking blade had already appeared in his hand. One man and one blade stood proudly. Long Haosha looked at his grandson in shock. In just a few months, his grandson seemed to have completely changed. He had actually reached the Xiantian realm and led his family to become an 8th-rank family. At this moment, Long Haosha and the others still did not know about Longao's battle results. If they knew, who knew how proud the Long family would be? "Mph, you overestimate yourself. I'll let you know the consequences of offending me." Black Wind Taoist did not put the other party in his eyes at all. As a martial artist at the peak of 100 Scatter Heaven, ordinary 100 Scatter Heaven martial artists were not his opponent at all, unless he encountered a one-line Heaven expert. Was the opponent a frontline Heaven expert? Without further ado, Black Wind Taoist chose to make the first move. At the same time, he dashed out with an overwhelming aura. Longao didn't want to waste time and wanted to end the battle quickly. He summoned his soul slave, and a terrifying chi aura immediately devoured his opponent's aura. Furthermore, his soul slave took advantage of the situation and started fighting with the Black Wind Taoist. One-line sky. Daoist Black Wind was almost scared out of his wits. He was arrogant, but he also knew his own limits. With his current strength, going against an expert from One-line sky was no different from throwing an egg against a rock. He was seeking his own death. Black Wind Taoist could not figure out that his opponent would summon a One-line sky ghost. He himself was a shameless villain. Feeling the overwhelming aura, he directly turned around and prepared to leave. "You want to leave?" How could Longao let Black Wind Taoist go? Anyone who dared to humiliate the Long family must be killed. The soul slave's speed was far faster than Black Wind Taoist. When the soul power invaded Black Wind Taoist's body, its strength had already decreased. Longao seized this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and fiercely slashed at Black Wind Taoist with his blood-sucking blade. Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes, 9 blade lights constantly superimposed and turned into a shocking blade light that fell from the sky. Black Wind Taoist didn't even have time to scream before he was cut in half by the blade light. Black Wind Taoist died. Looking at the corpse on the ground, everyone was stunned. Their faces were full of shock and disbelief. Black Wind Taoist was a veteran Xiantian martial artist and was very famous. But what about Longao? It had been less than a month since his breakthrough, but he was actually able to kill Black Wind Taoist. Such a contrast seemed to be a little unacceptable to everyone. Yang Guantian was the first to react. His face was ashen because he knew that the death of Black Wind Taoist had sealed the fate of the Yang family. Who in the Yang family could be his opponent? The Long family had produced such an amazing character, it was already destined that the Long family would definitely rise in the future. If the Yang family wanted to take revenge, unless a peerless genius also appeared, but would Longao give the Yang family a chance to rise? "Ao said Long Haosha, choking with emotion. Even now, he was still unable to react. His own grandson had actually killed Daoist Black Wind. Was this for real? Grandfather, I'll leave this matter to you. Longao was very smart. He knew very well that his grandfather Longao was the head of the Long family. He could help the Long family fend off enemies, but he couldn't make decisions for the Long family. How could Longao not know what his grandson meant? He nodded and said, Yang Guantian, you and I have been fighting for more than 30 years, but there has never been a victor. My Long family and your Yang family have always maintained the balance in the Scarlet Fire town. Originally, we could have continued like this and lived in peace, but you destroyed the balance. Longao, cut the crap. Since my Yang family has been defeated, then you can kill me or cut me up as you wish. Longhao's eyes turned cold. He said, cut the weeds and dig up the roots. Kill. Longao was very clear about his grandfather's meaning. As the saying goes, if you don't remove the roots when cutting the grass, it will grow again when the spring breeze blows. The Yang family could invite a black wind taroist this time, then they might be able to invite a blue wind taroist next time. As long as the Yang family was not destroyed, it would always be a threat to the Long family. After that, Longao did not hold back at all. He led the Long family disciples and slaughtered almost the entire Yang family, leaving only the women and children. After all, he could not bear to do such a thing. In the end, Longao was still a little soft-hearted. If the Long family was defeated this time, then the Yang family would not hesitate to destroy the entire Long family, leaving no one alive. When Long Yi and the others arrived, the Long family's crisis had been completely resolved. Longao also finally knew what his grandson had done in Thundercloud City. It could only be described with one word, earth-shattering. Within the Long family's courtyard. Yu Yin, I don't blame you. You don't need to be so sad. Looking at the tearful Yu Yin, Longao was truly helpless. He would rather fight a Xiantian cultivator than face the current Yu Yin. I know this is my fault. It's all Father's fault for making me faint. Even if you don't blame me, I blame myself. These troubles were big. Longao felt a headache. He used all his strength and patiently coaxed Wang Yuan. Chapter 42. After a full 4 hours, Longao finally managed to coax Yu Yin. Yu Yin, I've always had a question. I hope you can answer me truthfully. Looking deeply at the youth in front of her, Yu Yin seemed to know what the other party wanted to ask. Her eyes were somewhat evasive and she stammered as if she was hiding something. Yu Yin, 10 years ago, I remember that you weren't like this. Why have you become like this in just a short 10 years? What happened to you? If you treat me as your lover, I hope you can tell me. For 10 years, Longao had always had a question in his heart. It was about Yu Yin's weight gain and appearance. It should be known that 10 years ago, Wang Yuan was beautiful and was praised as the #1 beauty in the Red Fire town. However, ever since he failed to condense his inner strength, Wang Yuan seemed to have changed completely. Longao didn't know why, but he always felt that Yuan's change was related to him. Longao, this is my secret. Can you not ask? No. Looking at Longao's determined face, Yu Yin deeply sighed and then told him what happened 10 years ago. It turned out that 10 years ago, Longao failed to break through and turned from a former genius to the current trash. He was ridiculed by everyone. At that moment, Yu Yin swore that she would protect the person she loved even if she had to die. It was because of this that Yu Yin tried all kinds of methods and finally became the disciple of an expert who was about to die. From then on, she cultivated a yin poison martial art. At the beginning, Yu Yin was wholeheartedly focused on improving her strength and did not study this martial art properly. Ever since she cultivated this yin poison martial art, not only did Yu Yin start to become ugly, she also slowly gained weight. For 10 whole years, Yu Yin never gave up. No matter how fat or ugly she became, she never gave up on cultivating this yin poison martial art. After listening, Longao stood in the same place in a daze and did not say a word. Longao, are you all right? He pulled Yu Yin into his arms and hugged her tightly. Longao, what's wrong with you? She still didn't say anything. She just stared at him. It wasn't until this moment that Longao realized how much this woman had sacrificed for him. She had even sacrificed the most important thing to a woman. Yu Yin, you're so stupid. Why did you do that? I can do everything for you. No matter what you become, I will stay by your side. You're so silly. Just like this, the two of them looked at each other. After an unknown amount of time, the two of them sat quietly at the stone table in the courtyard. Longao said, Yu Yin, from now on, I will protect you by your side. So from today onwards, you are not allowed to practice this martial art. Longao, it's me. Waving his hand, he stopped Yu Yin from continuing. Longao's voice was unquestionable as he said, if I find out that you're still practicing this martial art in the future, I'll immediately cripple my own cultivation. Don't be angry. I know. I won't practice this martial art in the future. Yu Yin, I'm not angry. I just hate myself. 10 years, you've become like this for me. Don't worry, I'll definitely help you become the #1 beauty of the Scarlet Fire Town 10 years ago. Yu Yin didn't say anything. She just smiled happily. After chatting with Yu Yin for a while, Longao began to shut himself in and study the art of alchemy. This time, he wasn't studying the spirit-gathering pill. Instead, he was studying the beauty pill and the weight loss pill. Although the beauty pill and the weight loss pill could help a woman become more beautiful, the help was very small. Longao was very clear in his heart that if he wanted to completely restore Yu Yin to how she was 10 years ago, just relying on the beauty pill and the weight loss pill was far from enough. Long family's main hall. Aoa, where did you get these gold cards? Not to mention Long Yi, even Long Haosha and the others were shocked. After all, there were 300 million gold coins in these gold cards. What did this mean? As long as the Long family obtained 300 million gold coins, then from today onwards, the Long family would have more capital to enter Thundercloud City. Father, I obtained these gold cards by accident. However, if the family wants to develop, just 300 million gold coins is far from enough. Therefore, I refined many beauty pills and weight loss pills. Following that, Longao explained his thoughts. After hearing this, everyone wasn't as happy as they imagined. Long Haosha said worriedly, alchemists are the strongest existences. They are the most discriminating against their peers refining pills for women. If you refine these pills, won't other alchemists cause trouble? Longao had already thought about this problem. He shook his head and said, Grandfather, it's fine. I only have one goal, and that is to use the fastest speed to strengthen the family. Not only do we want to become an 8th rank family, but we also want to become a 7th rank family, a 5th rank family, and even a 3rd rank family in the future. If the Longao of the past said these words, he would definitely be laughed at by everyone. However, the situation now was different. Longao's status in the Long family was no longer the same as before. Even if he said some bold words, no one would doubt it. Since it's like this, let's do it. In the following days, aside from thinking of ways to help Yu Yin recover her appearance from 10 years ago, Longao also refined beauty pills, weight loss pills, and other pills for women. The Long family's speed was also very fast. Long Yi brought a few of his younger brothers to Thundercloud City to develop their foundation. Longao's sudden rise caused the Long family status in Thundercloud City to change. In just a few days, the Long family's foundation in Thundercloud City had expanded by several times. This was something that no one in the Long family expected. Long Fu, is there any way to recover my lover's appearance and figure? Long Fu always had the same expression. He nodded expressionlessly and said, Master, the method is very simple. As long as I bring the power of the blood pool into her body, I believe that she will recover her original appearance and figure in less than 3 days. Hearing Long Fu's words, Longao was overjoyed. Without any hesitation, he found Yu Yin and said straightforwardly, Yu Yin, listen to me. I've already thought of a way to help you recover your appearance and figure from 10 years ago. However, you have to promise me that from now on, no matter what happens, you can't cultivate this martial art. I will. Yu Yin's face was also filled with joy. If she said that she didn't want to recover her appearance and figure from 10 years ago, that would be a lie. After all, which woman would want to become ugly? Wanting to be beautiful was a woman's nature. It was an unchangeable fact. Longao, is there any way to recover my appearance from 10 years ago? Don't ask. Just stand here quietly. No matter what kind of power enters your body, don't try to resist. Understand? Understood. Chapter 43. Yu Yin was completely reliant on Longao. Just like that, Long Fu borrowed the power of the blood pool and entered Wang Yuan's body, constantly repairing the cells that had been damaged over the past 10 years. 3 days later, Wang Yuan reappeared in the Scarlet Fire Town, but everyone acted as if they didn't know her. However, everyone's face was filled with amazement. When everyone knew that the beauty was Wang Yuan, everyone was completely shocked. It could be said that Wang Yuan was the best advertisement. Ever since Wang Yuan changed from an ugly girl to a beautiful girl and regained her appearance from 10 years ago, the news spread from 1 person to 10, and from 10 to 100. In less than 2 days, not only Scarlet Fire Town, even Thundercloud City knew about it. In a short period of time, the pills refined by Longao became the hottest pills, even surpassing the spirit-gathering pill. 1 pill cost 15 million gold coins. Outside the Long family's door. Elder Yi, it's just a small 100 scatter sky. We can just take care of it. Why bother you to personally make a trip? Daring to kill my grandson, I'll make them pay the price. Yi Hao's face was extremely gloomy. He never thought that his grandson would be killed by a small 100 scatter sky cultivator. Yi Hao, Yi Guqing's grandfather, was also an elder of the Flowing Cloud sect. The Flowing Cloud sect was very powerful, even above Thundercloud City. After receiving the news of his grandson's death, Yi Hao was both furious and sad. He directly brought 2 one-line sky cultivators and rushed over from the Flowing Cloud sect. However, the 3 of them did not immediately start a massacre. No matter what, the other party was still an 8th rank Long family. As the saying goes, even if you don't look at the monk, you have to look at the Buddha. An 8th rank Long family might not be much, but what about the Long family behind them? Longao, you bastard, come out and die. Feeling the terrifying killing intent that covered the sky, everyone in the Long family was a little shocked. They did not know which idiot dared to provoke the current Long family. Before they could leave, Longao appeared in front of them and waved his hand. Everyone, don't make a move without my permission. With Longao's current status, no one dared to defy him. Everyone felt quite confused, not knowing what had happened. Long Haosha, Long Yi, and the others who had rushed over curiously asked, what happened? A frontline heaven expert. Frontline heaven. If it really was a frontline heaven expert, then Longao wouldn't be so solemn. This was because he could sense from the aura released by the other party that the other party's strength far surpassed that of the soul slaves. It even surpassed that of the willow tree. Could it be that this person's spiritual power had already filled all 108 acupuncture points? A one-line sky martial artist would use spirit energy to constantly fill 108 aperture points. The more aperture points filled with spirit energy, the stronger their strength would be. Longao's expression became more and more serious as he watched the 3 people walk in. What a terrifying aura. Long Haosha and the others didn't step forward because they knew very well that this was a confrontation between Xiantian martial artists. With their strength, they didn't have the qualifications. You're the bastard who killed my grandson? Who is the bastard calling? The bastard is calling you. Perhaps it was because of anger. Yi Hao didn't even think about it and directly said it out loud. Someone burst out laughing. Only now did Yi Hao realize that he had fallen into the other party's trap. With a sneer, Yi Hao said, "What a glib tongue. Wait a moment, I'll let you know what pain is." Grandson? Who was this person? Could it be Yi Jiu Cheng's grandfather? Long Ao could only think of this possibility. It was rumored that Yi Jiu Cheng had a powerful grandfather who was an elder of the Flowing Cloud sect. It seemed that the person in front of him should be Yi Jiu Cheng's powerful grandfather, the elder of the Flowing Cloud sect. Elder Yi, just 100 scatter heaven expert who just broke through, doesn't need your help. Leave it to me. One of the two Xiantian martial artists, the Flowing Cloud sect's law protector Dongfang Yin, looked coldly at the youth in front of him and said in a cold voice, "Boy, I can give you a chance. As long as you kneel down now, kowtow and admit your mistake, I might go easy on you. Otherwise, I'll make you cry to the heavens and the earth. Do you believe me? Just a lackey. You dare scold me? So what if I scold you? Besides flattering, what else can you do? You." Without giving the three any chance to speak, Longao directly scolded, "You three lack calcium since childhood, lack love when you grow up. Your grandmother doesn't love you, your uncles don't love you, your left face is asking for a slap, your right face is asking for a kick, a donkey kicks, and a pig tramples on pigs. I wonder what else can you do besides wasting air when you're alive and wasting land when you're dead? Why don't you just buy a kilogram of tofu and go home and hit it to death?" Looking at the unceasing scolding Longao, everyone in the Long family was completely stunned. Everyone was asking the same question in their hearts. When did Longao's scolding skills become so powerful? This kind of scolding skill could only be said to exist in the heavens. How could it be heard in the human world? Being scolded like this, the three seemed to be quite angry. Just as the two one-line sky cultivators were about to attack, Yi Hao waved his hand and said, "I'll do it myself. I want to let him know the difference between us." Immediately after, Yi Hao's body suddenly released a terrifying power. Longao had never seen this kind of power before, but he clearly knew that the power released from Yi Hao's body was even stronger than the one-line sky cultivators. "Longao, you killed my grandson. Today, not only will you die, even the family behind you will be sacrificed for your ignorance." Hearing the other party's words, Longao was startled. He didn't mind facing danger, but he couldn't implicate his family and his loved ones. Longao clearly knew that the person in front of him was the strongest person he had ever met. His chances of victory were almost zero. Could it be that he really had to make his family pay for the trouble he had caused? Humph, my Long family has a Long family behind it. If your Flowing Cloud sect dares to destroy my Long family, it's the same as provoking the Long family. Even if you're willing, the Flowing Cloud sect won't be willing. Long family, far surpassing the Flowing Cloud sect. Ha ha ha, kid, you don't need to use your Long family to pressure me. You killed my grandson. Even if I kill you and destroy the Long family, I believe that the Long family won't say anything. Plop. At this time, Longao suddenly turned and kneeled on the ground. Under the shocked gazes of everyone, including Yi Hao's group, Longao kowtowed 3 times to Long Haosha, Long Yi, and the others. Raising his head, Longao firmly said, "From now on, I, Longao, will be banished from the Long family. From now on, I have nothing to do with the Long family. Grandfather, father, mother, all of you must take care of yourselves." Suddenly standing up, Longao's eyes were filled with killing intent as he coldly said, "Now, I, Longao, have nothing to do with the Long family. If you touch the Long family will absolutely not let this matter go." Chapter 44. Yi Hao and the other two had never imagined that the other party would actually use the Long family to restrict them. In this way, Longao no longer had any connection with the Long family. If the three of them insisted on destroying the Long family, then they were not putting the Long family in their eyes. Although the Long family might not be able to take care of a small 8th rank Long family, it was better to be safe than sorry. What if the Long family really stood up for the Long family? The strength of the Long family was something the three of them knew very well. Because of this, their expressions were extremely ugly. Yi Hao sneered, "What a great self-seeking Long family. Longao, don't think that you can escape just because you've done this. I'll let you taste all the pain and slowly torture you to death. Why do you have to do this? The entire Long family swears to live and die with you. Yi Hao, if you have the ability, then let's leave this place and fight." Ignoring his grandfather and father, Longao knew that since he had already chosen to self-seek the Long family, then he had to show the proper attitude. Otherwise, once Yi Hao and the other two got a hold of his weakness, the consequences would be unimaginable. Today, I want to see just how you're going to play tricks in front of me. Yi Hao and the other two coldly chased after them. In the blink of an eye, the four of them had already disappeared without a trace. Even now, the Long family members still hadn't reacted. Ao did this because he didn't want to implicate us. The family has let him down. Hearing Longhao's words, everyone's faces were filled with pain. The family had finally managed to raise a genius, but he was strangled in the cradle just like that. Only now did everyone truly understand that without strength, they couldn't even protect their own family members. Father, since we're a branch of the Long family, why can't we ask the Long family for help? Easier said than done. Long family has countless branches and is divided into 9 ranks. The highest rank is the Long family. It's an existence that we can't even touch. As for the second and third rank Long families, it's the same. However, I know that in Starcloud City, there's a 5th rank Long family. In Thunderbolt City, there's a 4th rank Long family. 5th rank Long family? 4th rank Long family? This kind of super existence was not something that a rank 8 Long family could come into contact with. It was no wonder that his grandfather was like this. No matter what, we have to try. Father, Ao has a good relationship with the mayor of Thundercloud City. As long as we ask the mayor to help us contact the rank 5 Long family of Starcloud City, I believe that even the Sky Cloud Martial School would not dare to mess with us. Well, let's give it a try. Longhao's eyes were filled with desolation. It was as if at that moment, Longhao had aged a lot. He couldn't even protect the only grandson he cared about. As the head of the family, he was simply too unqualified. Grandpa, uncle, no matter what happens, our Long clan cannot back down. So we must go find 7th brother. We swear to live and die with him. Yes, big brother is right. We swear to live and die with 7th brother. No, go back and cultivate obediently. Without my orders, no one is allowed to take half a step out of the Long family. Uncle, why is that? Isn't 7th brother your son? Long Ying and the rest really could not understand why eldest uncle would not let them go. Each and every one of their faces were filled with anger. What's the point of you going? Could it be that you guys are Xiantian martial artists? Are you a match for a Xiantian warrior? Ao exiled himself from the family in order to protect you. If you still insist on doing this, how can you live up to Ao's painstaking efforts? Exiling himself from the family. Thinking about how long Ao was willing to sacrifice himself to protect the family, everyone felt extremely pained. To have such a family member, they could die without regrets. In order to not let the family be implicated, Longao led the 3 of them and ran. In the blink of an eye, the 4 of them had already left Scarlet Flame Town. In an open space, both sides were staring at each other, emitting powerful auras. Longao, I have to admit that you are indeed a talent. Unfortunately, you killed my grandson. Your crime is unforgivable. Not to mention that you are just a small 100 scatter heaven, even if you are from one line sky, you are still trash in front of me. Are you really that confident? Ha ha ha, I'll let you know the difference between Evolution Realm and 100 Scatter Sky. Evolution Realm? What realm was this? However, the other party did not give him a chance. Longao did not dare to be the slightest bit careless. He directly released his soul slave, holding Bloodsucker Wild Saber, and slashed out Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes. 9 blood-colored saber lights were constantly superimposed, and the accumulated power was unstoppable. The 2 one-line Sky Masters did not make a move because they knew that Yi Hao had to personally take revenge in order to relieve the resentment and killing intent in his heart. A powerful aura covered the sky. Before the person arrived, just the aura alone was able to suppress the saber lights and instantly dissipate them. What kind of concept was this? Feeling the powerful aura released by the other party, Longao's heart was also filled with shock. He had full confidence in his Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes. Even a one-line Sky Master would not be able to easily disperse his saber lights. Could this be the strength of an evolution realm master? The soul slave was very powerful, but even so, with just one move, it was suppressed by Yi Hao's powerful aura and was forced to retreat. Not to mention attacking, even taking a step forward had become incomparably difficult. Calling back his soul slave, Longao clearly knew that the other party's strength had far exceeded his understanding. Even his soul slave was not a match for the other party. One could imagine how terrifying the other party's strength was. Longao, do you feel powerless now? Powerless, your sister. The bloodsucker wild saber in his hand once again slashed out, and the saber lights continued to surge. From the beginning to the end, Longao did not know what kind of existence the evolution realm was. The only thing he knew was that the evolution realm was above one-line sky. He did not dare to relax. If he was careless, he would immediately be killed by the other party. However, the difference in strength made Longao unable to counterattack. He was firmly suppressed by Yi Hao's powerful aura. He did not know if it was intentional or not, but Yi Hao did not kill him. He relied on his aura to suppress the other party. Catcher. Because Longao could not resist the pressure of the aura, he directly knelt down on one knee. However, his strong willpower kept him from falling down. Traces of blood seeped out of his 5 orifices. His eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. At this moment, Longao looked extremely terrifying. Seeing the youth not giving up and tenaciously resisting, the two people not far away, Dongfang Yin and Wang Ran, were somewhat moved. With such willpower and talent, if he could become a disciple of the Flowing Cloud sect, they believed that in a few years, a young martial artist would appear in the Flowing Cloud sect. However, the other party no longer had such an opportunity. Chapter 45. The aura released by Yi Hao was too strong, and Longao had no power to resist at all. His face was pale, and his body began to tremble. At this moment, Longao found a powerful force pouring into his dantian and instantly flowing through his limbs and bones. Master, I have helped you refine the one-line heaven soul that you killed before. Longao was overjoyed. After the battle with Black Wind Taoist, he did not plan to continue refining soul slaves. After all, he already had a one-line heaven soul slave, and refining another 100 scatter heaven soul slave seemed a little redundant. The sacred desolation body required far more power to increase one's cultivation than an ordinary warrior's cultivation. Longao knew very well that as long as he could break through the peak of 100 scatter heaven, he would not need a huge amount of power to advance to one-line heaven. He only needed to force all the spiritual power in his body into his dantian. It was because of this that Longao chose to give up refining soul slaves and let Long Fu turn the soul into power for him to break through one-line heaven. A huge amount of power poured into his limbs and bones. He had to admit that the soul of a one-line heaven martial artist was very strong, especially the power refined by the blood pool. It increased by a full 1/3. In the blink of an eye, Longao broke through to the peak of 100 scatter heaven with the help of a huge amount of spiritual power. However, the terrifying aura kept suppressing him, and he could be suppressed to kneel on the ground at any time. Longao knew that the other party deliberately did not kill him to make him kneel and beg for mercy. He did not know whether Longao's luck was good or bad. Under normal circumstances, even with the support of a huge amount of power, it would not be easy to force all the power into his dantian. But now, with a huge amount of power entering and under the suppression of a terrifying aura, Longao did not let go of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He did not block this powerful aura, but guided it into his body and slowly pushed all the spiritual power in his body into his dantian. What is he doing? Is he using Elder Yi's aura to break through? Seeing this youth's actions, the two one-line sky martial artists were thoroughly shocked. As for Yi Hao, he might have been blinded by hatred, but he didn't care about anything else. He continued to release a powerful aura, ruthlessly suppressing his opponent. Just as Longao thought, Yi Hao only had a single objective, and it was to make him kneel and beg for mercy. Not only did Yi Hao want to kill him, he also wanted to humiliate him. Only then would he be able to seek justice for his grandson. Enduring the pain, Longao did not give up. His eyes were filled with unparalleled determination. It was because of this determination that he was able to hold on in the end and stand up again. Force! Longao roared. Then, the spiritual chi of heaven and earth quickly gathered around his body. A fierce and terrifying aura slowly condensed. It was Yi Hao's force. Longao relied on his constant perseverance and unyielding belief to finally condense his own force. Not only that, Longao used this force to quickly force all the spiritual chi in his body into his dantian. Thus, his cultivation officially advanced to one-line sky. Longao's sudden advancement to one-line sky and his success in condensing force completely shocked the three people. Especially Yi Hao, he was furious to the extreme. He never thought that under his absolute force, not only did his opponent not kneel and beg for mercy, but instead used his force to successfully break through to one-line sky and even condense his own force. A one-line sky martial artist successfully condensed force? Yi Hao didn't continue to hesitate. He didn't want his opponent to kneel and beg for mercy. He shot out like an arrow and fiercely chopped down with his palm. The strength of a master was not something a one-line sky martial artist could compare to. Suddenly opening his eyes, Longao's cultivation successfully broke through to one-line sky. The aura on his body instantly increased several times. The bloodthirsty blade in his hand also fiercely chopped down. The terrifying blood-red blade light had an icy aura. Bloodthirsty 8 styles, second style, heart-devouring ice. Yi Hao was full of confidence that he could scatter the blood-red blade light with his palm. But when his palm collided with the blade light, not only did it not scatter, but it also backfired. The cold blade light instantly invaded his body and went straight for his heart. The most terrifying thing about heart-devouring ice was that it was all-pervasive. Once the cold blade light invaded the body, it would erode the internal organs, even devour the soul, and freeze the entire body. If it was an ordinary Xiantian martial artist, once the cold blade light invaded the body, it would be very difficult to resist this heart-devouring ice. But Yi Hao was not a one-line sky martial artist. He was a master above one-line sky. After a brief shock, Yi Hao used his powerful spiritual chi to expel the cold aura from his body. Looking ahead, the youth had already disappeared. Yi Hao's expression was unsightly to the extreme. He asked, "Where is he?" "Elder Yi, Longao has already left." "Left? Why didn't you stop him?" Hearing this, Yi Hao almost fainted from anger. This time, he brought the two one-line sky martial artists here to be foolproof, but in the end, the other party still ran away. "Elder Yi, we're sorry." The two one-line sky martial artists were already scared to the extreme. The other party could actually resist Elder Yi, let alone the two of them. "Longao, no matter where you run to, I will kill you. The two of you will guard the Long family day and night. Remember, as long as you see Longao, inform me immediately." "Elder Yi, are you going to return to the sect?" The two were extremely depressed. They didn't know why, but they felt that even if they joined forces, they wouldn't be a match for the other party. Although they knew that this was a bit absurd, this feeling was real. How could Yi Hao not know what the two were thinking? He said, "Don't worry, I won't return to the sect. I will stay in Scarlet Fire Town. As long as you get the news, inform me immediately." Even if they were unwilling in their hearts, the two still nodded helplessly. The news of the Sky Cloud sect's elder, Yi Guqing's grandfather, Yi Hao, killing his way to the sect had spread throughout Scarlet Fire Town in the blink of an eye. Even the Thunder Cloud City knew about it. Anyone who knew about it was shocked. Although Longao's rise was out of the ordinary, the reputation of Sky Cloud sect's elder Yi Hao far surpassed Longao's. Almost everyone thought that Longao's chances of survival were close to zero. But just when everyone thought that Longao was dead for sure, the news that Yi Hao didn't kill Longao came. What kind of situation was this? Longao actually escaped from the hands of the Sky Cloud sect's elder? The Long family members who received the news were all overjoyed. As long as Longao didn't die, then there was hope. Chapter 46. His cultivation base had successfully broken through to one-line sky, and he had condensed his own force. Longao still did not choose to fight Yi Hao head-on. At the same time, Longao didn't choose to leave Scarlet Fire Town either. Although he had already exiled his family, it was better to be safe than sorry. If Yi Hao shamelessly attacked his family while he wasn't there, wouldn't his family be in big trouble? Thundercloud City's mayor, Liu Mu, personally reported the matter of Scarlet Fire Town's Long family to Starcloud City. Everyone in the Long family, including Liu Mu, thought that Starcloud City's rank 5 Long family wouldn't appear. However, things were unpredictable. In just one night, Starcloud City's rank 5 Long family and even the royal family sent people to Sky Cloud Sect. After negotiations between the two sides, the Flowing Cloud Sect finally agreed. This was a personal grudge between Yi Hao and Longao, and would not involve the Flowing Cloud Sect and the Level 8 Long family. With no other choice, Yi Hao could only bring the two frontline heavens and leave the Scarlet Fire Town. Yi Hao knew that although Sky Cloud Sect was powerful, they wouldn't offend Star Cloud Royal family and rank 5 Long family for him. Because of this, even if he continued to stay in Scarlet Fire Town, it would be useless. As long as Longao didn't appear, would he just stay here for the rest of his life? After receiving the news, Longao didn't return to his family. Although Star Cloud Royal family and rank 5 Long family had appeared, once he appeared in the Long family and was discovered by Yi Hao, no one knew what would happen. Without the threat of Yi Hao, Longao didn't continue to stay in Scarlet Fire Town, and left for Thundercloud City. Thundercloud City, Mayor's Mansion. Thank you, Mayor. I will definitely repay this favor in the future. Seeing the sudden appearance of the youth, Liu Mu seemed to be surprised, but he was more appreciative. He waved his hand and said, "Don't stand on ceremony. Come, sit." Inside the pavilion, the two sat down. Ever since the news of Longao killing Long Yulang and Yi Jiu Cheng and successfully leaving after resisting Yi Hao spread, Liu Mu's attitude had undergone a huge change. "Brother Long, your cultivation broke through one-line sky?" Longao didn't hide the fact that he had broken through. He nodded and said, "I was lucky to break through in the battle with Yi Hao." "Lucky breakthrough?" Liu Mu revealed a helpless expression and smiled bitterly. He said enviously, "Brother Long's talent and potential are the best I have ever seen. However, although the rank 5 Long clan and the Nebula Royal clan have made an appearance, Yi Hao will definitely not let this matter rest. So, you still have to be careful." "I will, City Lord. If you don't mind, you can call me Big Brother Liu." He seemed to be surprised, but Longao still shouted, "Brother Liu, I am very curious. Why would the rank 5 Long family and the Nebula Royal family help my Long family this time?" With regards to this point, Longao was very curious. After all, in the eyes of the Nebula Royal family and the rank 5 Long family, his family was basically dispensable. Since that was the case, why would the other party help his family? "Brother Long, the reason why the Nebula Royal family and the rank 5 Long family are willing to step in is all because of you." "Because of me?" "That's right. If it was you a few months ago, I believe that the Nebula Royal family and the Level 5 Long family would not have come forward. However, ever since you killed Long Yulang and Yi Guqing and escaped unscathed from the battle with Yi Hao, the Nebula Royal family and the Level 5 Long family are preparing to rope you in." "Rope him in?" Longao instantly understood the meaning behind Liu Mu's words. In the end, the reason why the Nebula Royal family and the Level 5 Long family helped was not because of his family, but because of his talent and potential. In other words, if he could not escape from Yi Hao, then the Nebula Royal family and the Level 5 Long family would not even look at him and his family. In the end, talent and strength were still the most important. As if he knew what Longao was thinking, Liu Mu said, "The world is like this. You have to learn to adapt to it and not reject it." He did not continue to think about this problem. No matter what the Nebula Royal family and the Level 5 Long family's intentions were, helping him and his family meant that his family was not in danger. It was more or less a good thing. "Brother Long, what do you plan to do next?" "Mph, if people don't offend me, I will not offend them. Since Yi Hao wants to deal with me, then I will give him the chance." Liu Mu was not surprised at all. He said, with the Nebula Royal family and the Level 5 Long family's help, the Sky Cloud Martial School should not interfere in this matter. As if he had thought of something, Longao hurriedly asked, Brother Liu, I want to ask you, above the one-line sky, is there an even more powerful existence? What is the evolution realm? So you still don't know about the evolution realm? Yes, Yi Hao is an evolution realm warrior. His strength is very powerful. That's right, Yi Hao is an evolution realm warrior. There are a total of 5 realms for a warrior to break through from the postnatal level to the postnatal level. They are 100 scatter sky, one-line sky, evolution, fusion, and unification. Every realm is a qualitative leap. 5 realms of postnatal, 100 scatter sky, one-line sky, evolution, fusion, and unification. Long Ao finally knew about the 5 realms of postnatal. Brother Long, there is only one thing you need to do now, and that is to use your spirit power to fill all 108 acupuncture points in your body. The more acupuncture points you fill with spirit power, the more powerful you will be. Once you have filled all of your spirit power, you can try to form your own aura. At that time, you can use your aura to evolve all 108 acupuncture points. Once you have evolved all of them, you will have truly stepped into the evolution realm. So that's how it is. Long Ao knew in his heart that although he had successfully formed his own aura under the pressure of Yi Hao's powerful aura, as long as he did not evolve all 108 acupuncture points, his cultivation would not be considered to have officially broken through to the evolution realm. He did not think about the evolution realm. Long Ao was not a person who bit off more than he could chew. This was because he knew that if he wanted to reach the peak of martial arts, he had to do it step by step. There was no benefit in being impatient. It wasn't an easy task to fill all the 108 acupuncture points in his body with spiritual energy. It seemed that revenge wasn't going to be an easy task. The difference between the one-line sky and the evolution realm was just like the difference between the 100 scatter sky and one-line sky. Brother Long, I know you are anxious to take revenge, but I still want to advise you not to be reckless. As the saying goes, 10 years is not too late for a gentleman to take revenge. With your talent and potential, I believe that even breaking through to the evolution realm will not be difficult. At that time, it will not be too late to kill Yi Hao. Nodding his head, Long Ao said, Brother Liu, I know what to do. Before I become stronger, I will not act rashly. Brother Long, what do you plan to do next? I will temporarily stay in Thundercloud City for a period of time. In a while, I will head to Starcloud City. When I return to Thundercloud City, it will be the day of my revenge. His face was filled with determination. Yi Hao must be killed. Chapter 47. Brother Long, there's one more thing. The beauty pill and other pills that you concocted previously have caused great dissatisfaction in the Alchemy Guild, so you have to be careful. Got it. Long Ao chatted with Liu Mu for a while, then he stood up and left. Not far away, behind the lotus pond, in an extremely secluded place, Liu Ji looked coldly at the gradually disappearing figure, her face filled with viciousness. "Mph, I'll let you know the consequences of provoking me." It turned out that when Long Ao had just entered the City Lord's mansion, Liu Ji had received the news and spread the news. The first person she informed was Long Ao's arch-rival, Yi Hao. After leaving the City Lord's mansion, Long Ao did not swagger into Thundercloud City. Instead, he disguised himself and found a medium-sized inn to stay for the time being. The night was silent. The next day, early morning, Long Ao had cultivated for an entire night. As soon as he stepped out of the inn, he saw 6 or 7 people coming from not far away. Some of them could be considered as old friends and relatives. They were Mu Feng, Mu Yong, Mu Yihang, Mu Yihao, and Mu Ian from the Mu clan. As for the remaining 2 young men, their faces were cold and their bodies were emitting powerful Xiantian qi. Mu He, Mu Ji. Although he had never seen the 2 young geniuses of the Mu clan, Long Ao recognized them immediately. It seemed like they were here to cause trouble. I really didn't expect that trash could turn the tables. Long Ao, you're not bad. Your mouth is full of dog shit. Trash, how dare you talk to Big Brother like that? Why not? Those who humiliate others will be humiliated. Those who humiliate others will be humiliated. Alright, since that's the case, I'll have a fair fight with you. If you win, I'll take a detour whenever I see you. How about it? Longao knew that if he did not accept the challenge, the people in front of him would not let it go. Since that was the case, he would fight. Alright, I accept the challenge. However, you're not my opponent. Both of you can come at me together. Ha ha ha, you want to challenge Big Brother and Second Brother? Hearing Longao's words, everyone laughed unscrupulously, as if they had heard the funniest thing in the world. Mu-hee and Mu-ji waved their hands. The two of them did not ridicule him in the slightest. After all, the other party was able to kill Long Yulang and Yi Jiu Cheng. How could he not have some real strength? Everyone scattered in all directions, leaving only Longao, Mu-hee, and Mu-ji in the open space. As the top geniuses of the Mu clan, Mu-hee and Mu-ji naturally knew that the other party's strength was not to be underestimated. Mu-ji's strength might not be comparable to Long Yulang's, but Mu-hee's strength far surpassed Long Yulang's, and even surpassed Yi Jiu Cheng's. Among the younger generation of Thundercloud City, there were two people who entered the 100 battle ranking. Mu-hee was one of them. He was ranked 95th on the 100 battle ranking, one place higher than Yi Jiu Cheng. That was why Mu-hee was so confident in challenging Longao. He wanted to tell everyone that the 95th on the 100 battle ranking list was much stronger than the 96th. Attack. Mu-hee and Mu-ji moved together, attacking from left and right. Longao did not release the strength of One Line Sky. It was more than enough to deal with the two of them with the strength of 100 Dispersion Sky. The three of them seemed to have a tacit understanding because none of them used weapons. In the blink of an eye, the three of them were engaged in a fierce battle. They fought back and forth for more than 10 rounds in an instant, but there was no clear winner. Once an expert made a move, the truth would be revealed. The people of the Mu clan who had been ridiculing them were all stunned. Until now, everyone realized that the trash of the Long family was actually so strong that he could fight with the eldest brother and second brother, and there was no clear winner. Mu-hee and Mu-ji became more and more shocked as the battle went on. The other party was indeed worthy of killing Yi Jiu Cheng. It seemed that he had some strength. Because of this, Mu-hee and Mu-ji did not show any mercy, and each move was stronger than the last. In fact, with Mu-hee's strength, it was already embarrassing for him to fight 2 against 1. After all, he was a super figure ranked 95th on the 100 battle ranking list. However, Mu-hee knew that he could not afford to lose, so he joined forces with his second brother. Heavenly Profound Finger. Ever since his cultivation had broken through the One-Line Sky realm, Longao had already been able to use the Heavenly Profound 7 transformations. Furthermore, when he used the Heavenly Profound 7 fingers, the powerful finger force passed through the space and accurately shot onto Mu-ji's right shoulder. Longao did not kill him, but in order to end the battle quickly, the power of this finger was also very strong. Plop. Mu-ji's body flew out and was caught by the others. Mu-ji also lost the ability to continue to attack, and could only reluctantly endure the pain from his right shoulder. Seeing his second brother being knocked down, Mu-hee was also shocked. He did not dare to continue to hesitate and used Mu-ji's innate martial skill. However, Longao was one step ahead of him. He used Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes on both fists and suddenly smashed out. Longao's speed was simply too fast. Mu-hee had just seen a series of fist shadows when he was knocked down. If it were not for his opponent's mercy, he was afraid that he would have been smashed to death with one punch. Even if he was unwilling to admit it, Mu-hee still said, "I lost. From now on, you are ranked 95th on the 100 battle ranking list." Longao defeated Mu-hee and successfully advanced 1 rank, from the previous 96th rank to the 95th rank. Mu-hee, on the other hand, dropped 1 rank from the 95th rank to the 96th rank. You have such talent, but if you don't cultivate properly, it will be very difficult for you to improve in this lifetime. I hope you can continue to work hard. Although he didn't like the people in front of him, no matter what, they were his relatives. Even if it was for his mother's sake, Longao reminded him. Hearing this, his body suddenly trembled, as if he had an epiphany. He bowed and said, "Thank you for your guidance. If I have any achievements in the future, I will definitely thank you for today's kindness." Looking at he who turned and left, Longao nodded with appreciation. It was not too late to mend the pen after a sheep was lost. If he could practice hard, with his powerful talent, his future would be limitless. He shook his head helplessly. He was promoted from 96th to 95th in the 100 battle ranking list in a days. It was as if the ranking was given to him for free. 6th level Long family. Looking in the direction of the 6th level Long family in the distance, Longao's face showed a trace of fear and worry. The reason why he did not leave Thundercloud City in a short time was because of the 6th level Long family. With the help of the Nebula Imperial family and the 6th level Long family, he could temporarily ignore the Sky Cloud sect. However, the 6th level Long family was different. He had killed Long Yulang, so Long Yangcheng must hate him to the core. Who knew if Long Yangcheng and the 6th level Long family would deal with his family? Once they took action, his family would only be exterminated. It could be said that they had no power to resist. Because of this, Longao wanted to completely resolve the grudge between himself and the 6th level Long family. Only then could he leave with peace of mind. Chapter 48. Thundercloud City, Level 6 Long family. Young Master is back, young Master is back. As the servants spread the surprise, Long Yangcheng and the others appeared in the courtyard of the Long family. Seeing the young man coming in, everyone was pleasantly surprised. Thick eyebrows, big eyes, facial features, and a cold murderous aura unnaturally exuded from his body. Seeing Long Yangcheng and Long Hemming, the young man quickened his pace and knelt on the ground, saying, "Grandfather, father, I'm back." Holding up his most proud grandson, Long Yangcheng's eyes were filled with tears, and he kept saying, "Good. Father, where's Yulong?" The young man was called Lunatic Long because he had only done one thing since he was young, and that was cultivation. It was because of this that Lunatic Long entered the 100 battle ranking list at the age of 25 and was ranked 78th. Lunatic Long was the pride of the Long family and even Thundercloud City. He was known as the strongest person in Thundercloud City. It was said that Lunatic Long's spiritual power had filled 108 acupuncture points. Once he condensed his own power and successfully evolved it, he could officially break through to the evolution realm. Lunatic, Yulong was poisoned by others and has passed away. Hearing that his own brother was dead, Lunatic Long seemed to be in disbelief. His face instantly became gloomy, and his body exuded a cold murderous aura. He asked viciously, "Who was it?" "Long family of the Red Fire town, Long Ao." Lunatic Long loved his brother the most since he was young, and this time, he returned from far away mainly for Long Yulang. But now, Lunatic Long clenched his fists tightly and almost roared, "I'm going to destroy the Long family of the Red Fire town. Who are you? How dare you destroy my Long family?" Looking at the young man who walked in from outside, everyone's expression was a little strange because no one thought that he would swagger in so openly. Could it be that he was really that confident? "You're Long Ao?" "Yes, if I'm not wrong, you should be Lunatic Long. Kill you Lang. No matter who you are, you'll still die." Madman Long released a powerful killing intent. The aura of a peak one-line sky martial artist was like a monstrous wave, each wave stronger than the last. It was endless. However, Long Ao stood there proudly, as if he simply ignored the other party's imposing aura. It was precisely because of this that Lunatic Long was a little surprised. No wonder the other party could kill his younger brother. It turned out that his cultivation had already broken through the 100 scatter heavens realm and reached the one-line heavens realm. Others might not know what one-line sky meant, but how could he not know? One-line sky. One-line sky. Hearing his grandson's words, Long Yangcheng seemed to be a little surprised. More than that, he was in disbelief. After all, not too long ago, the The young man in front of him had allowed him to kill him without the slightest ability to fight back. How long had it been? With such talent and potential, if this person was given more space to grow, wouldn't he be heaven-defying? You're not bad, peak of one-line sky. Of course, Longao had heard of Lunatic Long before. Lunatic Long was the top genius of the level 6 Long family. He successfully broke through the primordial realm at a young age and entered the 100 battle ranking. He advanced triumphantly all the way to the 78th place of the 100 battle ranking. The 78th place of the 100 battle ranking, peak martial artist of one-line sky. It was conceivable how strong Lunatic Long was. Even if you reach the one-line heavens, so what? Trash will always be trash. You can't make any waves. 10 moves. If I can't defeat you in 10 moves, I'll kill myself here. Kill himself here? Lunatic. Waving his hand, Lunatic Long exuded strong confidence and said, if I can't defeat this trash in 10 moves, it's useless even if I continue to live in this world. Taking a deep look at his grandson, Long Yangcheng finally nodded. He had great confidence in his grandson. In any case, his grandson was not only talented, but also powerful. At such a young age, he had already entered the 78th place of the 100 battle ranking. This achievement alone made him invincible. If I can't defeat you in 10 moves, I'll kill myself here. But if I'm lucky enough to win, I only hope that the grudge between us won't implicate the family. What do you think? This time, Longao came mainly for this. As for the grudge between him and the level 6 Long family, he would talk about it later. Moreover, as long as the grudge between him and the level 6 Long family was not involved, he would not touch the level 6 Long family in the future. Okay, I'd like to see how you can defeat me in 10 moves today. Lunatic Long did not believe that the trash in front of him could defeat him in 10 moves. It was as if he had heard the most ridiculous thing in the world. Not to mention Lunatic Long, even the others had a look of mockery on their faces. It was as if a newborn child wanted to defeat a middle-aged man within 10 moves. Was that even possible? Father, what do you think are the chances of Lunatic winning? Thinking of Lunatic Long's potential and talent, Long Hemming did not know why he had a bad feeling. If he was unlucky and his son failed, what would he do in the future? Humph, you know Lunatic's strength. How can this trash defeat him? Can he defeat Lunatic? Seeing his son's worried face, Long Yangcheng said indifferently, level 78 of the 100 battle ranking. If there is no accident, Lunatic should be able to challenge a higher ranking according to his current strength. The 100 battle ranking. Thinking that his son had entered the 78th place of the 100 battle ranking, Long Hemming's face also showed a trace of ruthlessness. After all, his favorite son was killed by this person. If he did not take revenge, how could he face his dead son? The battle of 10 moves. Longao and Lunatic Long stared at each other. The strong fighting intent released from them fiercely collided with each other. They had to admit that Lunatic Long entered the 100 battle ranking at such a young age. Not to mention his strength, his fighting intent alone was not something an ordinary person could have. With the rising fighting intent, everyone around quickly retreated. The aura of a battle between warriors in the one-line sky was enough to crush an ordinary warrior in the acquired heaven. In the whole Long family, only Long Yangcheng had reached the one-line sky and could stand and watch the battle. Madman Long clenched his fists tightly. His battle intent soared and his killing intent surged. He suddenly said coldly, "No matter what my brother did wrong, you shouldn't have killed him. A murderer must pay with his life. Today, I will take your life and seek justice for my brother." Lunatic Long obviously wanted to kill. As soon as he attacked, he used the Tiger Claw. As a figure ranked 78th on the 100 battle ranking, Lunatic Long was not comparable to Long Yulang in strength or actual combat experience. Chapter 49. It was a battle of 10 moves, so both of them tried their best to defeat each other in the shortest time possible. Peak of one-line sky. Powerful strength rolled out, but Madman Long's face completely changed in the next second. His face was full of disbelief. Momentum? Impossible, It's impossible. You just broke through the one-line sky realm. How can you condense momentum? After breaking through the primordial realm, one would have an understanding of the 5 realms of primordial. Momentum was the unique power of evolution masters. As everyone knew, as long as one's cultivation did not break through the evolution realm, it was impossible to condense one's own momentum. With a sneer, Longao said indifferently, "You can't condense momentum, but it doesn't mean that others can't condense momentum. There is always someone better than you." Madman Long, who was full of confidence, was hit in an instant. For a long time, Madman Long thought that his talent was the most powerful. He had reached the peak of one-line sky at a young age and was ranked 78th on the 100 battle ranking list. Who could compare with him? But now, his cultivation had broken through the peak of one-line sky, but he had not succeeded in condensing momentum. But his opponent, a trash who had just stepped into one-line sky, had succeeded in condensing his own momentum. It was clear who was more talented and who was weaker. Momentum? So what? Madman Long's face recovered in an instant. He looked up to the sky and laughed 3 times, saying, "Trash will always be trash. You're just lucky to condense momentum. Today I'd like to see how you can use momentum to defeat me in 10 moves." Longao admired Madman Long very much. He deserved to be ranked on the 100 battle ranking list at a young age. He was calm in the face of danger. His strong confidence and fighting spirit were enough to scare off many people. But this time, Madman Long met Longao. He operated the 7 mysterious Sky 7 changes and the 7 mysterious Sky fingers. The powerful finger force penetrated everything and shot toward his opponent. In the blink of an eye, the two collided. Madman Long did not take his opponent seriously, but at this moment, he finally knew that his opponent's strength was not below his. The powerful momentum combined with the unparalleled finger force. If Madman Long's tiger claw was not too hard, he believed that this finger alone would be enough to penetrate the tiger claw. "I have to admit that with your talent and potential, if you continue to grow for a few years, your achievements will surpass mine. But you have no chance." Not far away. When the spectators heard Lunatic Long's words, all of them turned pale with fright. No one was a fool, so of course they knew what he meant. "Father, we can't let him live." Waving his hand, Long Yangcheng said with a stern expression, "If Feng'er can't kill him, I'll join the fight too. With the 2 of us working together, we'll definitely succeed." 2 against 1? "Father, if this matter were to spread, I'm afraid that our Long family would lose a lot of face. This child's talent and potential are far beyond what I know. If we continue to stay, our Long family will not only lose face, but will also be destroyed by this child." Long Hemming seemed a little surprised, but he didn't doubt his father's words at all. No chance. Lunatic Long's strength and potential were very strong, but he was too arrogant. Long Ao snorted coldly, and the bloodthirsty broadsword appeared in his hand. He instantly slashed out with the Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes, and the 9 blade lights stacked together, instantly completing the stacking power. Lunatic Long, who was about to attack, seemed to be a little surprised. He was caught off guard and couldn't dodge in time. He was almost killed by the stacked blade lights of the Yellow Spring's 9 consecutive strikes. Everyone was shocked. Seeing Lunatic Long standing up again, they all let out a long sigh of relief. It was also because of this that the way everyone looked at Long Ao had completely changed. Everyone was well aware of Lunatic Long's strength. The 78th place on the 100 battle ranking list was not a place that could be obtained by talking. It was a place that was obtained by relying on real strength and a life-and-death battle. But what about his opponent? If Lunatic Long hadn't dodged in time, he would have been killed by the blade light released by his opponent at this moment. What did this mean? The people present were not fools. Everyone knew very well that the strength of this trash was already able to compete with the #1 genius of the Long family, who was also the #1 expert. Lunatic Long's face was extremely ugly as he was almost killed by his opponent's blade. He had been in the martial arts world for so many years and had killed many strong enemies along the way without failing. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to reach this step today. 2 moves have been made. I don't know if you can defeat me with the remaining 8 moves. Don't think that you can be arrogant just because you won by 1 move. Longao, I can tell you clearly that you will die today. Even if he was defeated by his opponent, Lunatic Long still had strong confidence. He threw away the tiger claw in his hand and took out a sharp sword from his arms. He sneered and said, "You are indeed very strong, forcing me to use the Dragonsong sword." Hearing this, Longao didn't dare to be careless. He held the bloodthirsty broadsword tightly in his hand and said indifferently, "You talk too much nonsense." Ha ha ha, what an arrogant person. With that, Lunatic Long didn't continue to talk nonsense. The Dragonsong sword in his hand was already out lightly. He moved his sword and at the same time the sword chi shot out, he also rushed out. Yellow Spring 9 consecutive strikes. The bloodthirsty broadsword in Longao's hand slashed out fiercely. 9 blade lights layered on top of each other and instantly collided with the sword chi. Sparks flew in all directions as the sword chi and the blade light continued to collide. Quickly retreat. Feeling the sword chi and blade light released by the 2 people, Long Yanqing's face suddenly changed. At the same time, he released a trace of chi aura to block the chaotic aura. Everyone knew very well in their hearts that the 2 people had only used their respective unique skills now. Who would win and who would lose would be determined by this battle. As the battle continued to heat up, everyone became more and more shocked because no one would have thought that the trash who was ridiculed by everyone in the Scarlet Fire town would become a super genius who could fight against Lunatic Long in just a few months. Was this the truth? If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, no one would have believed it. 3 Dragon Raw moves. Lunatic Long finally used his most powerful primordial martial skill, the 3 Dragon Raw moves. It was with this primordial martial skill that he killed all the strong enemies and finally entered the 78th place in the 100 battle ranking list. It was conceivable how powerful the 3 Dragon Raw moves were. As soon as Longao used the 3 Dragon Raw moves, he already knew that the primordial martial skill used by his opponent was extraordinary. He didn't dare to be careless. The bloodthirsty broadsword in his hand instantly slashed out. The second move of the bloodthirsty 8 moves, Heart-Devouring Icebound. At that time, it was with this heart-devouring icebound that Longao successfully escaped from under Yi Hao's nose. It was conceivable how powerful this move was. Both of them used their strongest moves. At the same time, both of them knew very well that success or failure depended on this move. Chapter 50. The strongest move was also the strongest collision. Who would win or lose would be decided by this move. Heart-biting ice turned into an endless blood-colored blade light and slashed down along the sharp blood-sucking broadsword. Lunatic Long thought that it was impossible for his opponent to take his third style of Dragon Roar. Just after the collision, Lunatic Long's face suddenly changed. He quickly retreated and tried his best to avoid the shocking blade light. But Lunatic Long already knew that with his current strength and speed, it was impossible to avoid it. In other words, he had already lost this move. Lost. Although he didn't want to admit defeat, Lunatic Long knew that he had lost in the end. His opponent's move was too powerful. No one in One Line Sky was his opponent unless he was an expert of evolution. Without any more resistance, Lunatic Long had chosen to give up. Lunatic Longao, how dare you? Just when Lunatic Long thought that he was going to die this time, he found that the blade light didn't hit him. He was very curious. He opened his eyes and looked at the smiling young man in front of him. He asked, "You won't kill me?" Lunatic Long, I killed your brother. The grudge between us can be settled in the future. I will wait for you. I hope you can keep your promise and don't bring disaster to the family. After that, Longao turned and left. Because of this, everyone was a little confused. They didn't know if water had entered his brain. Such a rare opportunity, but he didn't make a move. Lunatic Long stared at the leaving young man and clenched his fists tightly. Although he didn't die this time, he had fallen from 78th to 79th on the 100 battle ranking, while Longao was promoted to 78th on the 100 battle ranking. Longao, who left, didn't feel the slightest joy from defeating Lunatic Long because he knew that there were many warriors stronger than him on this continent. If a fusion or unification warrior came, he wouldn't have the slightest chance to resist and could only be slaughtered. "Are you okay?" Lunatic Long shook his head. This defeat seemed to be a blow to him. He said, "This boy's talent and potential are the strongest I have ever seen. Even in a big sect, he is a first-class existence." He seemed a little surprised. Long Yangcheng certainly knew that his grandson's knowledge was better than his. Even Lunatic Long praised this boy. It seemed that this boy's talent and potential were really good. Trash. At this moment, Long Yangcheng fiercely scolded the person who spread the rumor. His talent was so strong, but he was called trash. "Fonger, even if this kid is strong, we might still be able to kill him if we join forces. If we don't remove the roots when cutting the weeds, they will grow again when the spring breeze blows. We must eliminate all future troubles." After seeing the young man's strength and talent with his own eyes, Long Yangcheng was completely afraid. As the saying went, it was better to be safe than sorry. If this young man really became strong, what would happen to his family? Lunatic Long was aware of his grandfather's worries, but he did not intend to do so. "No matter what, I will not let anyone hurt my grandson." Longao. He knew what kind of person Lunatic Long was from the battle just now. That was why Longao chose not to kill Lunatic Long in the end. He wanted to make sure that the Long family would not attack his family after he left Thundercloud City. After settling the family's matter, Longao left with a peace of mind. From now on, he would go out to train. He wanted to raise his strength to the highest level in the shortest time possible. At that time, even if Yi Hao came looking for trouble, he would not be afraid. In this continent where martial arts were respected and martial artists ran amok, strength represented everything. In just a few minutes, the news of Longao defeating Lunatic Long had spread throughout the Thundercloud City. Everyone who heard the news was shocked, because no one was willing to believe that the number one genius of the Long family, the number one expert of the Thundercloud City, and the number 78th on the 100 battle ranking list was defeated by a level 8 disciple of the Long family. Although many people were used to Longao's counterattacks, they still could not accept such a crazy counterattack. Lunatic Long was ranked 78th on the 100 battle ranking list. His strength was needless to say. But what about Longao? Even if he was talented, he was still ranked 95th on the 100 battle ranking list. Challenges between people on the 100 battle ranking list often happened. But it was almost unheard of for someone ranked 95th to defeat someone ranked 78th. If the news was not true, no one would believe it. Longao defeated Lunatic Long, which meant that from now on, the 100 battle ranking list changed again. Longao jumped from 95th to 78th, while Lunatic Long fell one place to 79th. After a short period of shock and disbelief, everyone in Thundercloud City began to accept it. At the same time, they admired the young man who rose from the Long family in Red Fire Town, besides a trace of envy. He fought with Long Yulang, Yi Gucheng, and Long Yangcheng. The young man never admitted defeat. He would rather die standing than live on his knees. He won everyone's respect. Because of this, everyone soon forgot about the former top genius, Longao. Instead, they remembered the current top genius, Longao. People were like this. They only remembered the winners and did not care about the losers. The Heaven and Earth sect also changed the ranking of the 100 battle ranking list in time. Since then, Longao was not only ranked 78th on the 100 battle ranking list, but also regarded as the top expert in Thundercloud City. Even the governor might not be his opponent. The top expert in Thundercloud City and 78th on the 100 battle ranking list. Just these two titles were enough to scare off anyone. It was also because of this that the Scarlet Fire Town's Long family moved into Thundercloud City on a large scale because of Longao's rise. No matter which faction it was, they did not dare to stop them in the slightest. Until now, the Mu family's attitude had changed completely. They did not stop the Long family from moving into Thundercloud City. Instead, they helped them. With the support of the Mu family and the governor's mansion, The Long family's foundation in Thundercloud City expanded tenfold in just a few days. Because of Longao, the 8th grade Long family became a 7th grade Long family again. This was because the family's foundation was not strong enough. Otherwise, the Long family in Redfire Town would have become a 6th grade family. Chapter 51. Level 7 Long Family. Although it was only a Level 7 Long family, no one dared to underestimate them. This was not because of the family itself, but because of the rise of a genius behind the family. Everyone knew that Longao had appeared in Thundercloud City. However, not many people knew the exact location of Longao in Thundercloud City. Liu Ji found out about it through some reason and told Yi Hao of Sky Cloud Sect. Outside Thunder Cloud City. Longmo, Ouyang Fei. Are the Long family and Star Cloud royal family really going to protect this kid? Looking at the people in front of him, Yi Hao's expression was extremely ugly. He thought that he would be able to kill Longao as soon as he found him. But in the end, the Level 5 Long family and Star Cloud royal family wanted to protect him. Yi Hao could ignore the others, but the Level 5 Long family and Star Cloud royal family were existences that even the master of Sky Cloud Sect would not dare to offend. Yi Hao was furious, but he was also curious and surprised. After all, Longao was just a disciple of a small family. Did the Level 5 Long family and Star Cloud royal family eat too much? They were actually standing up for an ant. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If he could not kill Longao this time, Yi Hao knew that it would not be easy for him to take revenge for his grandson in the future. Yi Hao already knew about the matter of Longao defeating Lunatic Long. It seemed that he was a little caught off guard by Longao's development. With such talent and potential, he believed that it wouldn't take long for the other party to grow to be as strong as him. At that time, it would really be like cutting the grass without removing the roots, and it would grow again when the spring breeze blew. This time, the Level 5 Long family had sent out an evolved expert. The Star Cloud royal family was even more exaggerated. They had sent out the Crown Prince of Star Cloud Kingdom. Their status was obvious. This was enough to show how high Longao's status was in the eyes of the Level 5 Long family and Star Cloud royal family. It was also because of this that Yi Hao was a little surprised. Ouyang Fei sneered. Although the Sky Cloud Martial School was powerful, it was still nothing in the eyes of the Star Cloud royal family. If they could successfully recruit a super genius, a future top warrior, it would not be a bad deal to offend the Sky Cloud Martial School. Yi Hao, the battle between Longao and Yi Jiu Cheng was a fair one. Life and death are determined by fate. Riches and honor are determined by the heavens. How could Yi Hao not know what Long Mo had said? After all, it was a battle of life and death between cultivators. Life and death were fated, and riches and honor were up to the heavens. However, his most beloved grandson had been killed. He really could not swallow this anger. Was he going to give up on his grandson's revenge just like that? Longmo, does the Long family really want to become enemies with my Flowing Cloud sect? Wait, it's not the Flowing Cloud sect, it's you. We've already communicated with the Flowing Cloud sect, and your sect has already agreed not to participate in this matter. If you insist on taking revenge, why can't we help Longao? The other party's meaning was very clear. Yi Hao was no fool. Of course, he could understand. It was impossible to say that he did not have any resentment towards the sect. However, Yi Hao knew that the Sky Cloud sect would not offend the Nebula royal family and the Long family for him unless his cultivation base could break through to the fusion realm. However, breaking through to the fusion realm was easier said than done. Ouyang Fei, the crown prince of the Nebula royal family, was also a cultivation genius. He had already reached the one-line sky at a young age. Yi Hao, if I were you, I would leave obediently. Who do you think you are? I can tell you clearly that even if you have reached the evolution realm, in the eyes of our Nebula kingdom, you are nothing. I hope you can understand this. Powerful. Ouyang Fei's strength was not because of his own strength, but because of the power behind him. After all, the one-line sky and the evolution realm were two extremes. However, The Nebula Kingdom was like a huge mountain, firmly placed there. Ouyang Fei, you, waving his hand, Ouyang Fei did not give Yi Hao any chance to speak. He sneered and said, Yi Hao, if it wasn't for the Flowing Cloud sect, we wouldn't even talk to you. If you know what's good for you, scram. Ouyang Fei had brought 2 Evolution Realm experts with him this time. If Longao was included, there would be a total of 3 Evolution Realm experts. How could Yi Hao fight 1 against 3? But was he really going to give up just like that? If he were to give up just like that, Yi Hao was really unwilling. But what could he do? After all, the other party had the Nebula Royal family and the Rank 5 Long family as their backing. Not to mention him, even the Flowing Cloud sect would not dare to provoke the Nebula Royal family and the Rank 5 Long family. Yi Hao, don't tell me you still want to continue. Longao and the other 2 Nebula Royal family's Evolution Realm experts unleashed their powerful chi, intertwining with each other and fiercely suppressing the other party. You guys. Not daring to be careless, Yi Hao hurriedly unleashed his own chi. However, how could Yi Hao resist the chi unleashed by the 3 Evolution Realm experts? Step by step. The chi unleashed by the 3 Evolution Realm experts was overwhelming. The 3 Evolution Realm experts did not even put the other party in their eyes. What could the Sky Cloud sect's elders do? Enough. After stopping the 3, Ouyang Fei did not want to make this a big deal. Although the Nebula Royal family was not afraid of the Sky Cloud sect, they could not go too far. Once they killed Yi Hao, it would be hard to explain to the Sky Cloud sect. After the 3 chi disappeared, Yi Hao let out a long sigh of relief. The mountains will not change and the rivers will always flow. We will meet again. In the end, Yi Hao chose to give up. Regardless of whether he could take revenge in the future, he understood one thing: a wise man does not fight when the odds are against him. If the Sky Cloud sect did not show up to kill him, not only would he not be able to take revenge, he would also lose his life. Wait. Longao, who had not spoken yet, suddenly spoke. Everyone was curious. They did not know what Longao wanted to do, since Yi Hao was about to leave. Could it be that Longao wanted to fight back? Hearing Longao's words, Yi Hao's expression changed drastically. He turned his head and stared at him coldly. His voice was like hell as he said coldly, Longao, don't go too far. Don't think that just because you have the support of the Rank 5 Long family and the Nebula Royal family, you can bully me as you wish. Completely ignoring Yi Hao's angry face, Longao said calmly, 1 year later, I will personally go to the Sky Cloud sect to challenge you. At that time, I will defeat you in front of everyone. 1 year. Ha ha ha, good. 1 year later, I will wait for you at the Sky Cloud sect. Yi Hao's face was full of disdain and happiness. After all, he could take revenge for his grandson in 1 year. Chapter 52. A Year's Promise. Yi Hao had full confidence that he could defeat and kill Yi Hao in a year's time. Although Yi Hao's potential and talent were the strongest he had ever seen, was it possible for Yi Hao to break through the evolution realm and reach his level in a year's time? No matter if others believed it or not, he would never believe it. Looking at Yi Hao, who had already left, Longao and Ouyang Fei were both anxious. They could not understand why Yi Hao would make a year's promise with Yi Hao since they had already helped him. Could it be that Yi Hao was so confident that he could defeat Yi Hao in a year's time? Not to mention Yi Hao, even Longao and Ouyang Fei did not believe it. Ouyang Fei sighed deeply and said, Brother Long, why do you have to do this? Thank you Crown Prince and Senior Longao for your help. Longao will definitely repay your kindness today. Brother Long, since you and I feel like old friends, and I am a few years older than you, why don't you call me Big Brother Ouyang and I call you Brother Long? Ouyang Fei seemed to be a little surprised. He did not know why the Crown Prince of Star Cloud Kingdom would take such good care of him and even call him brother. Thinking about it, Longao instantly understood the Crown Prince's intention. Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew the Crown Prince's intention. If he was the trash that everyone called him 10 years ago, would Ouyang Fei still treat him like this? The answer was easy to see. However, living in this world where martial arts were respected, one had to follow the rules of this world. Otherwise, the one who would suffer in the end would be himself. Big brother Ouyang, thank you. Ha ha ha, good. Brother Long, don't worry. A year later, I will accompany you to the Flowing Cloud sect. I also want to see how dangerous the Flowing Cloud sect is. Longao, if you don't mind, I am also willing to accompany you. No matter what Ouyang Fei and Long Mo's goal was, the two of them being able to do this was already enough. Smiling, Longao said confidently, thank you big brother Ouyang and senior Long Mo. A year later, I will definitely defeat Yi Hao. Looking at the strong confidence of the young man in front of them, Long Mo and Ouyang Fei were both surprised. The two looked at each other and smiled. After all, actions spoke louder than words. Brother Long, if you don't mind, why don't you come with me to Star Cloud City? Longao, the family head would also like to meet you. Actually, in Longao's heart, he did not want to go to Star Cloud City. However, no matter what, Long Mo and Ouyang Fei had helped him. If he were to refuse, it would be somewhat unkind. Since I've never been to Star Cloud City before, I might as well go and take a look. Looks like I'll have to bother the two of you. Ouyang Fei and Long Mo both laughed heartily when they heard that. As for the news of Longao challenging Yi Hao, it spread throughout the entire Thundercloud City. Everyone who received the news broke out in cold sweat for Longao, but most of them were filled with anticipation. After all, Longao had given them too many unexpected and counterattacks. The promise of a year. Nebula City, the central city of the Nebula Kingdom. The Nebula royal family was located here. There was also a level 5 Long family, a super family clan, overseeing the city. The Martial Heaven continent was divided into 9 provinces. The Martial Heaven continent had 2 large empires. They were the Flame Empire and the Thunder Empire. As for the Star Cloud Kingdom, it was one of the stronger empires of the Thunder Empire. The strongest families of the Star Cloud Kingdom were gathered in Star Cloud City. The strongest martial artists were gathered there. Here, it was possible to provoke a powerful martial artist at any time. Unless you were a spoiled young master or someone blind, no one would dare to be arrogant in Star Cloud City. After several days of continuous travel, Longao and the others finally arrived at Star Cloud City. Looking at the huge city walls, Longao was a bit surprised. Whether it was Scarlet Flame Town or Thundercloud City, they were on a completely different level compared to Star Cloud City. Long Mo and Ouyang Fei weren't surprised at all. They had seen this kind of expression far too many times. Ouyang Fei smiled. Brother Long, do you want to go directly to the palace or come later? No, I want to take a good look at Star Cloud City. I'll go to the palace in a bit. Alright, then I'll wait for Brother Long in the palace. It seemed Ouyang Fei had something important to do. He whipped his horse and quickly left, disappearing without a trace. Longao, when will you come to my Long family? Whether it was the 9th rank, 5th rank, or 6th rank Long family, they were all branches of the Long family. But under normal circumstances, the higher level Long family looked down on the lower level Long family. In truth, Longao did reject the higher level Long family to a certain extent. He shook his head. I won't go for now. I want to temper myself first. It won't be too late for me to go after I break through. Long Mo seemed to understand Longao's character. He didn't force him. After saying a few polite words, he quickly left. After Ouyang Fei and Long Mo left, Longao felt a lot more relaxed. It was better for him to be alone and free. What Nebula royal family, what rank 5 Long family, what they valued was his talent and potential. If one day he became a trash again, he was afraid that both parties would be the most heartless. Without thinking about anything else, Longao paid the entrance fee and smoothly entered Star Cloud City. This was Longao's first time leaving Thunder Cloud City. When he walked into Star Cloud City, he realized that the difference between Kaihua Town and Thunder Cloud City was like the difference between a child and an adult. Longao first found a restaurant and ordered a table full of dishes. He ate alone. Star Cloud City was packed with people. At a glance, There were people everywhere. Among them, 20% were warriors. Longao could clearly sense that there were powerful warriors outside. Among them, there was even a Xiantian master. Have you heard? Princess Xixia of the imperial family is publicly looking for a groom. Whoever can kill a purple-winged blood-gold lion and take its beast core to refine spirit recovery pills will be married immediately. Really? Old Hay, are you thinking of killing a purple-winged blood-gold lion? Don't joke around. I heard that purple-winged blood-gold lion is an extremely ferocious beast. Its strength is terrifying. Not to mention you, even a Xiantian master might not be able to kill it. Purple-winged blood-gold lion? Of course, Longao knew about the purple-winged blood-gold lion that these people were talking about. Purple-winged blood-gold lion was a Xiantian spiritual beast. It was incomparably powerful. Not only was it cruel, but it could also communicate with lightning. Unless there was no other choice, no one would want to provoke a purple-winged blood-gold lion. Of course, Longao didn't think about Princess Xixia's groom search. There was only one name in his mind, purple-winged blood-gold lion. If he could kill it and get its beast core, wouldn't he be able to refine spirit recovery pills? Chapter 53. The purple-winged blood-gold lion was a Xiantian spiritual beast. Its beast core could be used to refine the spirit recovery pill. The spirit recovery pill had a miraculous effect. It was said that a single spirit recovery pill could help a warrior recover from his injuries instantly. Therefore, every warrior wanted to get their hands on one. However, it was not easy to refine the spirit recovery pill. Just hunting a purple-winged blood-gold lion was an extremely difficult task. After all, a purple-winged blood-gold lion could communicate with the power of thunder and lightning. Thus, it could kill enemies who were at a higher level. I want to ask, where can I find a purple-winged blood-gold lion? Seeing that it was a young boy who asked, everyone laughed unscrupulously. One of them said mockingly, "Do you also want to go to the Nebula Forest to hunt a purple-winged blood-gold lion?" Nebula Forest? Seeing the young man leave without saying a word, everyone burst into laughter. They were all talking about him, but most of them were mocking him and looking down on him. In their eyes, there were too many people who wanted to kill the purple-winged blood-gold lion. These people were only after Princess Xixia's beauty. Princess Xixia. She was the most beloved princess of the Nebula Kingdom. She had been spoiled since she was a child. She had her eyes set on the sky. This time, because the emperor was seriously ill and needed the spirit recovery pill, she didn't hesitate to hunt purple-winged blood-gold lions. It was obvious how much Princess Xixia cherished her father. As the most beautiful woman in the Nebula Kingdom, Princess Xixia had countless suitors. However, Princess Xixia's standards were too high. Therefore, even after so many years, Princess Xixia had remained single. This time, Princess Xixia had suddenly announced to the world that she was going to choose a husband. This had caused the entire Star Cloud Kingdom to become lively. Many young geniuses had poured into Star Cloud City in order to hunt down the purple-winged blood-gold lions and obtain Princess Xixia's favor. Nebula Forest. It was the largest forest of spirit beasts in the Nebula Kingdom. It was also the most dangerous place. It was a graveyard for humans, but a paradise for spirit beasts. After a few bites, Longao left Thundercloud City and went to the Nebula Forest to try his luck. He wanted to see if he could hunt purple-winged blood-gold lions and obtain their beast cores to refine the spirit recovery pill. According to the records, the purple-winged blood-gold lion was not only powerful, but also extremely fast. It often appeared and disappeared like a shadow. Ordinary Xiantian realm warriors could not even find its trace, let alone hunt it down. Longao had just stepped into the Nebula Forest when he sensed the auras of many cultivators. It seemed that the charm of this Princess Xixia of the Nebula Kingdom was truly powerful. Longao wasn't going to hunt the purple-winged blood-gold lion for the betrothal, so he didn't think too much about Princess Xixia. The Star Cloud Forest was much bigger than the Thunder Cloud Forest. After entering the Nebula Forest, Longao followed the information he received and headed towards the place where the purple-winged blood-gold lion might appear. Look, even the one-armed saber king has come. It seems like even old ox wants to eat young grass. Crack. Before the man could finish his words, he had already been cut in half at the waist, scaring the surrounding people into dodging. The one-armed saber king was obsessed with saber Dao. He had reached the pinnacle of one-line sky at the age of 30 and was ranked 77th on the 100 battle ranking list. He was even one rank higher than Lunatic Long. One could imagine how powerful he was. The indifferent man had a full beard and a long scar from his forehead to his chin. He looked extremely terrifying. This man was the one-armed saber king. Whoever dares to talk nonsense will end up like him. The one-armed saber king's cold aura spread out in all directions. Everyone hurriedly retreated. No one wanted to provoke this evil star who killed without batting an eyelid. The purple-winged blood-gold lion is mine. Whoever dares to touch it will die. It had to be said that the one-armed saber king was too arrogant, but no one dared to say anything. This was the powerful aura brought by strength. The one-armed saber king sneered. He looked around with disdain and turned to leave. The rest of the crowd looked at each other. Their faces were filled with bitterness and unwillingness, but most of them were angry. The one-armed saber king had threatened them. As long as they dared to hunt the purple-winged blood-gold lion, many of them had already started to back out of the Nebula Forest. Some were afraid of death, but some were not. A small number of people still chose to go in and look for the purple-winged blood-gold lion. Longao, who was hiding on the side, also seemed to be a little surprised. He felt that this matter was very tricky. After all, the purple-winged blood-gold lion had attracted a warrior from One-Line Sky, who was also a genius on the 100 battle ranking list. The one-armed saber king? Longao's mouth suddenly curved into a smile. Of course, he would not back down just because of the one-armed saber king. He followed the crowd slowly towards the southeast. From the moment he stepped into the Nebula Forest, Longao began to have doubts. That was the Nebula royal family. No matter what, the Nebula royal family was the ruler of the Nebula Kingdom. He believed that there were many powerful warriors in the royal family. At the very least, there were many evolved warriors. If that was the case, why didn't the Nebula royal family send their evolved warriors to kill the purple-winged blood-gold lion directly? Then, they could steal the beast core and refine it into a medicinal pellet. Why did they choose to invite warriors from all over to the Nebula Forest to kill the purple-winged blood-gold lion? Wasn't it unnecessary? What was even more strange was that none of the big families in the Nebula Kingdom, including the Long family, had participated in the Princess Zisha's marriage this time. The warriors who entered the Nebula Forest came from all over the Nebula Forest. What was the Nebula royal family planning? Did Princess Zisha of the Nebula royal family really want to cure his father's illness? If she really wanted to, with Princess Zisha's status and identity in the royal family, it was more than enough to find a few powerful warriors to kill the purple-winged blood-gold lion. Longao didn't know why, but he felt that there was something fishy about this. It was as if the Nebula royal family was plotting something. No matter what the Nebula royal family was plotting, Longao had decided that he would hunt down the purple-winged blood-gold lion and refine it into a soul recovery pill. If he had this kind of medicinal pellet, he would be able to recover instantly when he was injured in battle. Nebula Forest. According to the news from the royal family, many people already knew the location of the purple-winged blood-gold lion. When Longao arrived, he saw that the one-armed saber king and the purple-winged blood-gold lion were fighting fiercely. There were many people around, watching the battle nervously. Everyone hoped that the one-armed saber king and the purple-winged blood-gold lion would both be injured. Longao didn't move immediately. He just stood there quietly, watching the battle not far away. The one-armed saber king was ranked 77th in the 100 battle ranking list, only one rank higher than Madman Long. However, Longao clearly knew that the gap between the two was very big. Chapter 54. In the 100 battle ranking list, the difference in strength was huge. Longao was confident that he could defeat Lunatic Long, but not One-Armed Saber King. This was the difference between the 77th and 78th on the 100 battle ranking list. The purple-winged blood gold lion was blood red with a pair of pure purple wings on its back. It was 2 meters tall and looked extremely powerful. However, One-Armed Saber King's strength was not to be underestimated. His saber did not fall. Longao was a little surprised by the saber momentum released by One-Armed Saber King. He deserved to be called a battle maniac. This momentum alone was enough to show disdain for all the warriors in the one-line sky. Momentum was the unique power of evolving warriors. However, there were exceptions to everything. Some warriors in the one-line sky or even in the 100 scatter sky could condense their own momentum under some kind of opportunity. However, this kind of momentum was somewhat different from the momentum of evolving warriors. After all, evolving warriors evolved their aperture acupoints, multiplied and condensed momentum, and integrated it into their own strength. There was no doubt that One-Armed Saber King could condense his own momentum in the one-line sky realm. This in itself showed his talent and potential, as well as his strength. The purple-winged blood gold lion's wings began to communicate with the surrounding thunder and lightning. Everyone could clearly feel that there was a manic aura fluctuating around. Under everyone's shocked gaze, the purple-winged blood gold lion's wings began to emit a strong power of thunder and lightning. The black-purple wings kept flapping, and a terrifying power of thunder and lightning kept attacking One-Armed Saber King. Because of this, One-Armed Saber King began to be unable to resist. Everyone around was attacked by the power of thunder and lightning released by the purple-winged blood gold lion. In order to protect themselves, they quickly fled in all directions. In the blink of an eye, they all disappeared without a trace. The purple-winged blood gold lion was a primordial spirit beast. Not only was it powerful, but it could also communicate with the power of thunder and lightning. Not to mention a warrior in the one-line sky, even an evolving master might not be able to kill it easily. Looking at One-Armed Saber King, who was being pressured step by step, Longao did not continue to watch the show. With a stride forward, Xiao Chen's body moved quickly. Before he arrived, he had already struck out with the yellow spring 9 consecutive strikes. One fist stacked on top of another. In an instant, the strength of the 9 consecutive strikes was stacked. The terrifying fist force smashed onto the lightning shield. One-Armed Knife King looked surprised, but he still said, "Break the purple-winged blood gold lion's thunder shield first." Nodding his head, Longao did not dare to be careless in the slightest. The wild draw blade appeared in his hand, and the frozen heart devourer quickly slashed out. The shocking saber radiance constantly struck the thunderbolt air shield. The 2 one-line sky warriors were top geniuses ranked 77th and 78th on the 100 battle ranking list. Once they joined forces, their power could be imagined. If you and I attack alone, it's impossible for us to break through the lightning shield. One-Armed Saber King nodded his head in agreement and said, "All right, you and I will work together and attack with all our strength." Longao had a very good impression of this One-Armed Saber King, who had a violent temperament and formidable strength. This kind of feeling was very peculiar, and people were often like this. If we can kill the purple-winged blood gold lion this time, you and I will split it equally. What do you think? Before attacking with all their strength, One-Armed Saber King explained how to divide the lion. Longao also agreed. After all, both of them had come for the purple-winged blood gold lion. If they joined forces to kill the purple-winged blood gold lion, it would not be worth it. Longao and One-Armed Saber King reached a certain level of tacit understanding in the shortest time possible. The two of them were like old friends who had been together for many years. They both used their most powerful attacks, concentrating on one point and attacking the purple-winged blood gold lion. The 2 one-line sky warriors used their most powerful attacks, which were like a flood and a storm, constantly superimposing their strength. Boom! The thunderbolt air shield on the purple-winged blood gold lion's body was instantly broken into pieces and disappeared. The purple-winged blood gold lion's most powerful attacks were its thunderbolt air shield and its thunder power. Now that the thunderbolt air shield had been broken, the purple-winged blood gold lion's body was brutally smashed to the ground, bleeding from its 7 orifices. It had been killed. So easy. Looking at the corpse on the ground, both Longao and one-armed Saber King were stupefied. They had no idea what had just happened. Although the two of them were very confident in their own strength, they were not arrogant. They clearly knew how powerful the purple-winged blood-gold lion was. Even if they joined forces, they would not be able to kill it so easily. The two of them looked at each other and saw the curiosity in each other's eyes. The two of them immediately started to check the purple-winged blood-gold lion's body. After checking, they were both surprised. One-armed Saber King coldly said, "So it was injured. Who injured the purple-winged blood-gold lion but did not kill it?" The two of them were very curious about this. They knew that if the other party could injure the purple-winged blood-gold lion, why did they give up on killing it? It did not make sense. "My name is Longao." One-armed Saber King was Longao. Longao smiled and said, "My name is Longao. The two of us are really fated. Both of our names have the word Ao in them." Longao's face was cold and emotionless. He was like a zombie. He nodded and said, "Thank you very much. No matter what, the purple-winged blood-gold lion has been killed by us. According to our agreement, we will each take half of the purple-winged blood-gold lion. Half each." The purple-winged blood-gold lion only had 3 things: its soul, its beast core, and its body. When Longao killed the purple-winged blood-gold lion, he had silently taken its soul and given it to Long Fu in the dragon seal space. Because of this, Longao thought for a moment and said, "You can take the purple-winged blood-gold lion's beast core and body." Longao seemed to be surprised. He did not choose immediately. Instead, he asked, "Longao, did you come to kill the purple-winged blood-gold lion for the imperial family's Princess Zishia's marriage?" "No. Forgive me for asking, but why did you kill the purple-winged blood-gold lion?" "To refine the spirit recovery pill." "You are an alchemist." Longao seemed to be even more surprised. Only now did he carefully look at the young man in front of him. He had seen the young man's strength with his own eyes. He was very strong. Even he himself was not sure if he could defeat him. Longao seemed to have thought of something. He raised his voice and asked, "You are Longao, the one who defeated Crazy Long not long ago and entered the 100 battle ranking list?" "Yes, I am an alchemist. This time, I killed the purple-winged blood-gold lion to get its beast core and refine the spirit recovery pill. But, I still say the same thing. You can choose between the corpse and the beast core." Chapter 55. Longao did not make a decision immediately. After a moment of silence, Longao raised his head and asked, "If you can create the spirit recovery pill, how about giving me half of it?" Longao's request was a little overboard. After all, creating a spirit recovery pill was no easy task, let alone half of it. If it were any other pill refiner, they would have thrown a tantrum and stormed off. But Longao was not angry at all. Instead, he smiled and said, "No problem." Longao was even more surprised now. He had not expected Lin Fan to agree so quickly. After all, he knew what a spirit recovery pill meant. Even though Longao was arrogant, he was still a true martial artist. Nodding his head, he said, "Since that's the case, I'll give you the purple-winged blood-gold lion's corpse and the beast core. You're my friend now." Extending his only right hand, Longao's face was filled with sincerity. Naturally, Longao would not reject him. Extending his left hand as well, the both of them shook hands. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Even dark clouds started to gather. Longao had just collected the beast core and was preparing to deal with the corpse when suddenly, a terrifying aura pressure came from all around. Even if the two of them were one-line sky martial artists, they were instantly suppressed by this aura and were unable to move. Before the two of them could react, a power of thunder and lightning as thick as an arm had already ruthlessly struck over. "Another purple-winged blood-gold lion?" Hearing Longao's words, Longao's heart skipped a beat. Both of them knew each other, and could see the shock in each other's eyes. Not daring to be careless, Both of them joined forces to defend against the aura. Buzz, buzz, buzz. An ear-piercing sound rang out. Following that, a purple-winged blood-gold lion that was 6 to 7 meters tall strode towards them. In the blink of an eye, it had arrived. Purple-winged blood-gold lion king. Purple-winged blood-gold lion king? Although Longao didn't know what the purple-winged blood-gold lion king was, he could clearly feel the power of the spiritual beast in front of him. Too strong. Even though Longao was confident in his own strength, he did not have the confidence to fight back against this purple-winged blood-gold lion king. This was the result of the difference in strength. Ha ha ha. Purple-winged blood-gold lion king, you've finally come out. Just as domineering arrogance and Longao were at a loss of what to do, 20 to 30 figures appeared from all directions and surrounded the purple-winged blood-gold lion king. Brother Long, let's go. Seeing the sudden appearance of Ouyang Fei, Longao was completely dumbfounded. What was going on? Why would Ouyang Fei suddenly appear here? Could it be a coincidence? For some reason, Longao felt that he had fallen into a trap. No matter how many questions he had, Longao knew that in this situation, it was best to leave. Just like that, Longao and Domineering left with Ouyang Fei. As for what would happen next, they had no idea. Outside Nebula Forest. Big brother Ouyang, I hope you can answer me honestly. What is going on with the imperial family's Princess Xia's groom search? HMPH, snakes and rats alike. As if he knew Domineering Arrogance's personality and temper, Ouyang Fei didn't care. He shook his head helplessly and said, I didn't expect that Brother Long would come to kill the purple-winged blood-gold lion king. If you had told me in advance, I would have helped you. Hearing Ouyang Fei's words, Longao was speechless. However, he didn't say anything. He just wanted to know what the imperial family's intentions were. This is supposed to be a secret, but since you and I are friends, I'll make an exception and tell you. However, this must not be spread out. Otherwise, Nebula Kingdom will fall into chaos. Nebula Kingdom will fall into chaos? Even Domineering Arrogance was curious. What was going on that would cause such a serious consequence? Brother Long, I believe you know that Nebula Kingdom is only a vassal state of the Thunder Empire. If other families rise up, they can replace the imperial family at any time. Ouyang Fei clenched his fists and said coldly, nothing can happen to the imperial family. Because of this, every 10 years, the imperial family will join forces with other families to weaken the geniuses of other cities in Nebula Kingdom. This is to ensure that the imperial family's position is stabilized. In an instant, Longao and Domineering Arrogance understood the imperial family's intentions. They had to admit that the imperial family was ruthless. Big brother Ouyang, the imperial family is killing geniuses like this. Don't they want to rise up? Aren't they afraid of the other families in Nebula Kingdom? Of course they are afraid, but they can't do anything about it. However, the other families don't dare to rebel easily. As for not wanting to rise up, that's a lie. However, between rising up and protecting the imperial family, we choose the latter. Reality, this was the reality. As the ruler of Nebula Kingdom, the imperial family could kill geniuses at will. Countless families were kept in the dark. If it weren't for their strength, they would have been sacrificed as well. Big brother Ouyang, why are you telling me this? Because I know that a small Nebula Kingdom is not what you want. Brother Long, I only hope that when you become strong in the future, you can help the imperial family. I will be eternally grateful. In the end, Ouyang Fei was still interested in Longao's talent and potential. Otherwise, he wouldn't have cared about Longao's life. At this moment, Longao finally understood how terrifying this world was. The slightest carelessness could lead to eternal damnation. Because of this, he didn't have a good impression of the imperial family's crown prince in front of him. Brother Long, we've been paying attention to the purple-winged golden lion king for a long time. However, with so many experts, we couldn't lure it out. Longao waved his hand, stopping Ouyang Fei from continuing. He already knew everything. In the end, Princess Xia's groom selection was just a cover. They were just sacrificial lambs. They deserved to die. Big brother Ouyang, I'm a little tired. I'll return to Nebula City first. If I have time, I'll come find you. All right. Rest well. Longao didn't want to stay any longer. The two of them left quickly. Ouyang Fei shook his head helplessly and said to himself, being in the imperial family, I have no choice. I hope you don't disappoint me. Otherwise, you'll die. On the road. Longao, this world is a man-eat-man world. It's full of schemes. If you don't scheme against others, others will scheme against you. If you don't kill others, others will kill you. Therefore, if you want to live a better life in this world, there is only one way, and that is to become strong. Remember, don't trust anyone easily. The only thing you can trust is your fist. The only thing you can trust is your fist. Nodding, Longao said firmly, you're right. Only with strength can you have everything. Being kind to your enemy is being cruel to yourself. Chapter 56. At this moment, Longao's state of mind changed again. Longao knew that if he wanted to survive in this treacherous world, strength was important, but adaptability was equally important. It was precisely because of this that Longao imperceptibly had an additional hint of killing intent and coldness. He seemed to be praising Lin Fan as he said, I have heard about your story. I have to say that you are indeed a special case. I am very surprised. 10 years ago, why couldn't you achieve an endless cycle of inner strength? I don't know either. This matter is indeed fishy, but I admire your perseverance and unwillingness to give up. Not everyone can be like you. Longao smiled and didn't say anything. Star Cloud City. There were 5 major forces in Star Cloud City. They were Star Cloud Royal Family, Level 5 Long Family, Miao Family, Cheng Family, and Nangong Family. These 4 families kept each other in check, fighting openly and secretly to eliminate each other. Star Cloud Royal Family saw this and reaped the benefits. They let the 4 families keep each other in check to achieve the goal of strengthening the royal family. Star Cloud City, the most luxurious street. I have never seen such a beauty in so many years. Very good, very good, very good. The young master of Miao Family, Miao Yarrow, had a face that was neither male nor female. Together with his excellent figure, he looked like a transvestite. At this moment, Miao Yarrow was extremely excited. Miao Yarrow's talent and potential were good. He had already reached the 100 scattering heaven realm at a young age. However, Miao Yarrow was naturally lustful. He couldn't control himself when he saw someone. As a second generation with great strength, Miao Yarrow had been lawless since he was young. At this moment, Yu Yin was no longer the fat woman she used to be. She was graceful and beautiful. How could Miao Yarrow not be moved by such a beauty? He couldn't stop looking at her. Get lost. Yu Yin was famous for being a domineering woman in Scarlet Fire Town. Plus, she was a level 10 inner force martial artist. Her body emitted an aggressive aura. Oh, I like bold beauties. Come, let's exchange a few moves. I want to see how powerful you are. Miao Yarrow looked at Yu Yin shamelessly. Both of her hands were already attacking rapidly. The surrounding crowd seemed to be used to this. Moreover, Miao Yarrow had the entire Miao family behind her. Her strength and background were obvious. Courting death. With Yu Yin's personality, how could she just stand by and watch the other party tease her? With a roar, she formed a palm with one hand and fiercely struck out. 10th layer of internal force? Although Miao Yarrow was surprised, he became even more interested. He laughed crazily, and a strong innate aura pressed down from the sky. Wang Yu Yin was only a warrior at the Hutian realm. How could she resist the aura of a Xiantian realm warrior? She felt as if she had been tied up. She was shocked and shouted, "Are you a Xiantian realm warrior? It's your honor to be trusted by a Xiantian martial artist. Even if I die, I won't be humiliated by you." Wang Yuyin was very clear in her heart that with her current strength, it was impossible for her to be the opponent's opponent. Once she was restrained, there was only one result, and that was to be humiliated by this transvestite. She would bite her tongue and commit suicide. Looking at the transvestite who had already restrained her, Yu Yin stared coldly. Just when she was about to bite her tongue and commit suicide, a terrifying aura descended from the sky. Damned transvestite, let go of my wife. The terrifying aura of one-line sky was like a 10,000-pound boulder, directly pressing down on Miao Yao's body. He didn't know whether it was because he didn't expect it or because his body was weak, but he was directly pressed down by this aura and knelt on the ground. Young master, who the hell are you? How dare you provoke my young master? Longao, who had descended from the sky, had an unsightly expression on his face. Murderous aura overflowed from his body. He did not give the Miao family's servants the opportunity to continue shouting. His imposing manner was oppressive. Catcher, catcher, several servants were beheaded. You killed my servants. Miao Yaro didn't dare to move and obediently knelt on the ground. This was because he had clearly sensed that the other party was actually a one-line sky warrior. In the eyes of one-line sky, 100 scattering sky was like a child in the eyes of an adult, not worth mentioning. How dare you humiliate my wife? Die. Looking at her lover who had descended from the sky, Yu Yin's eyes were filled with happiness. Just when Longao was about to kill Miao Yao, domineering sky suddenly stopped him and shook his head. Miao family. Miao family, just two simple words, but the meaning behind it was extremely simple. As one of the 5 giants of Star Cloud City, Miao family's foundation and strength were obvious. However, would Longao easily let off someone who tried to humiliate his woman? Brat, I am the young master of Miao family. If you dare to kill me, Miao family will definitely not let you off. Looking at the youth who was overflowing with killing intent, Miao Yaro shouted in horror, you can't kill me. Otherwise, no matter who you are, my Miao family will not let you off. Snorting coldly, Longao naturally didn't have a good impression of this kind of second generation. You can escape death, but you can't escape punishment. Under Miao Yaro's horrified gaze, Longao's body moved. Catcher, catcher, exclamations came from all around. This was because Miao Yaro had 2 arms and a tongue chopped off in front of everyone's eyes. Woo-woo, woo-woo. Coldly looking at the stammering and speechless transvestite, Longao said in an extremely cold voice, don't think that just because you have Miao family as your backing, you can do whatever you want. Today, I will punish you lightly as a warning. If I see you again in the future, I will definitely kill you. Not caring about the consequences, Longao pulled Wang Yuyin's hand and the 3 of them quickly left. Until now, the surrounding crowd still hadn't reacted. The Miao family's second generation who had always been lawless actually had his tongue and arms cut off. How was this possible? Inside the restaurant. Yu Yin, why did you come to Star Cloud City? His face was filled with worry because Wang Yuyin already knew the transvestite's identity. He was one of the 5 giants of Star Cloud City, the young master of Miao family. Not to mention Miao Yaro's strength, just the Miao family's strength and foundation was not something they could contend against. I was worried about you, so I wanted to come and see. Longao, we offended the Miao family. Will we be in big trouble? No matter how strong a woman was, once she was protected by the person she loved, she would become a little girl. Even Yu Yin was no exception. Smiling comfortingly, Longao said, you don't need to ask too much about this matter. After eating, immediately leave Star Cloud City. Remember, don't come back so easily. Once I'm done with the matters here, I will come back to find you. Do you understand? Don't chase me away. I want to stay and advance and retreat together with you. We will live and die together. Yu Yin, I know you are worried about me, but I don't want anything to happen to you. I hope you can understand that I will send you away later. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.